Well, this National League West race is definitely keeping it interessante. Enjoy it with Dos Equis. It's D-backs baseball on this Friday night from downtown Phoenix. Diamondbacks find themselves 2.5 games behind the Rockies and 1 game back of second place Los Angeles. Colorado and LA going head-to-head right now at Coors Field. Here at Chase, it's the D-backs and the Braves on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. This is the second of a 4-game series, the Diamondbacks and the Atlanta Braves. Thought last night might have been the Diamondbacks' night thanks to Goldy's heroics. However, Bob, it did get Goldy that 9th inning home run to a statistical landmark that's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive might be the understatement of the season. What Goldy has done since earlier this season is absolutely amazing. In his last 90 games, he's been able to raise his average 100 points in 90 games. Hit .347 over that stretch with a .436 on-base percentage. I mean, this guy should win Comeback Player of the Year for just what he's done within this season.
Can you believe 90 games ago he was hitting below 200? Incredible.
That is really hard to believe, and we saw it, and we know Goldy was struggling, but for a guy to bounce back from the depths that he was in at that point, it really is amazing and speaks to Goldy's character.
Well, Patrick Corbin is on the mound for the Diamondbacks tonight. He's up against right-hander Kevin Gausman, acquired from Baltimore at the trade deadline. He's been quite a pickup for the Braves.
Yeah, got out of that toxic environment in Baltimore. This guy has been a perennial prospect. Everybody expects him to be a top of the rotation guy, and he's certainly pitching like one with the Braves.
Time to get a win. D-backs and Braves on Fox Sports Arizona.
D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By BJ's Restaurant and Brewhouse. Visit bjsrestaurants.com to find a location near you. By the NASCAR Can-Am 500 at ISM Raceway, November 9th, 10th, and 11th. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs. Score free Jumbo Jacks only at Jack in the Box. By Dos Equis, keep it interessante. By Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing. Choose Chaz. By One AZ Credit Union, let's bank together. And by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today. Oh, this NL West craziness already underway tonight. The Dodgers and Rockies tied 2-2 in the third at Coors Field. We're set to get underway. Patrick Corbin on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Go. So are we, Steve Berthew and Bob Brenly. Jody Jackson with you. The D-backs and the Atlanta Braves. Only 22 games left to go. A disappointing loss last night in extra innings. No getting around that. But Torey Lovullo insisting today. Just got to spit that one out, turn the page, get ready for this one. So here we go. Here's your Braves lineup. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Ronald Acuna Jr. once again leading it off out in left field. Johan Camargo at third base. Freddie Freeman will be across the diamond at first. Nick Markakis out in right field. Tyler Flowers doing the catching tonight with Ozzie Albies at second. Ender Inciarte out in center field. Dansby Swanson at shortstop, and right-hander Kevin Gausman on the mound.
It's a left-hander going for the Diamondbacks. A Ram truck starting pitcher is Patrick Corbin. Patrick's 6th in the league in ERA. He is 3rd in the league in strikeouts and just worked 5 scoreless innings at Dodger Stadium in his last start.
Yeah, probably could have pitched a little deeper into that ball game, but the pitch count was starting to climb up there, and Patrick came out after 5 strong innings, gave up only 3 hits against the Dodgers in that game, struck out 7.
E.D. Marshall Jewelers has a look around at the Diamondback defense.
John Jay getting the start in right field tonight. A.J. Pollock will be in center. David Peralta in left field. Eduardo Escobar at third base. Nick Ahmed at short. Daniel Descalso getting the nod at second base tonight with Paul Goldschmidt at first. Alex Avila behind the plate, and lefty Patrick Corbin on the mound.
Doug Innings is our plate umpire tonight, calling balls and strikes. The Cowboy, Joe West, the crew chiefs at first. Artie Foster, our second base umpire, and Mark Ripperger is at third. Time, Bob, for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Now, this can apply to the offense, the pitching staff, the fans, the coaching staff. Try something different. When you get stuck in a little bit of a funk like this, sometimes you just need to do some things that you don't normally do. Try to hit the ball to the opposite field. If you're trying to hit home runs, just try to make contact. If you're just trying to make contact, try to hit one up in the seats. Just try to do something different to break out of this little bit of a funk.
Yeah, D-backs have lost 5 of their last 6 games, 9 of their last 13. And Ronald Acuna Jr. leads it off for the Braves. Always a threat to take it deep to start the ball game. That one's fouled away. Acuna last night 0 for 5, a walk and a strikeout. But when leading off a game this year, this is in the first at bat, he's hitting over 370 and he's got 8 leadoff home runs. And he's only been their leadoff hitter for about 50 games or so. So he has been enormously productive. Shift is on. Statcast AI powered by AWS. Goldy, the only defender between first and second. Descalso Ahmed, middle infield tonight. Patrick gets that slider in there. That one off Acuna's leg. 1-2.
Well, we've seen this an awful lot this summer. Right-handed hitters think they have a bead on that slider, and by the time they swing at it, they catch the top part of the baseball and just drive it down off that front leg.
It looked like it hit the pad, if that's any consolation. Doesn't look like it is. But he steps back into the box, so it must have stopped hurting. No?
Maybe November. By Thanksgiving, it'll be fine.
Acuna's 8 leadoff homers already, a new Braves record. Another slider that misses low. 2-2. Mention the Rockies and the Dodgers. We'll keep an eye on that one for you throughout the night tonight. Clayton Kershaw versus John Gray, a matchup of aces. And it's 2-2 in the 3rd inning at Coors Field. Matt Holliday has homered for Colorado. Fastball's low and Acuna's worked at full 3-2.
The wild horse, Yasiel Puig, with a homer for the Dodgers.
The Dodgers had I believe it was 2-0 at one point. Now tied at 2. This one's a base hit down the line in right. Jay over there to pick it up. Acuna digging for second. He's got a leadoff double.
Well, I'll tell you, for a young player, that's pretty good defensive hitting right there. In a 2-strike count, gets a fastball that's too close to that outside corner to take. Maybe not really good enough to do much with, so he just pokes it down that right field line for a leadoff double.
Here's Johan Camargo batting second against the left-hander Corbin. 276, 16 home runs. He homered here last night. A home run against Zach Greinke in the 6th. Braves put up a 2 spot in the 1st inning last night and threatening again to start this one. Descalso kind of hovering around the bag at second, keeping Acuna close. And Patrick spikes the slider up there.
Well, we see this with all the Diamondback starting pitchers, not just Patrick Corbin, just trying to find that release point, get everything going here in the 1st inning, and hopefully you do it before the pitch count gets too elevated or you Braves get too many guys on base. But Patrick spiked a couple of those sliders already way out in front of home plate, looking for that release point.
Greinke had those 2 wild pitches in the 1st last night, gave up 2 more homers, which has become an ongoing issue for Zach this year. The home runs, it was Suzuki in the 4th and Camargo in the 6th. But Greinke wound up with a no decision in that ball game. Still 13-9 on the year, and a little dehydrated.
Not anymore.
Still hot here. Fastball misses away. Patrick has thrown 9 pitches, only 3 for strikes so far. And he's got the dangerous duo of Freeman and Markakis coming up.
Yeah, it looked like Camargo was taking all the way on that 2-0 pitch. He didn't really drop his hands down into the slot, didn't take an aggressive stride into the pitch. It looked like he was taking all the way.
AJ in center, couple of steps over toward the pool in right center field. Camargo is a pretty balanced switch hitter. He's got a little more batting average from the right side, a little more power from the left. That's often the way it goes with switch hitters. Good spot for that fastball, and it's full 3-2. So a full count on the first two Atlanta hitters for Corbin. Got him. Went to the slider, and Patrick has his first strikeout.
It looked like it was more the change in speeds on the slider that time that got Camargo to swing over the top of that pitch, more so than the break.
Well, Freddie Freeman 7th in the league with that .306 batting average, 21 home runs. D-backs overload the first base side against the left-hand batter. Acuna getting a big secondary lead down there. He's behind second base ump Marty Foster. Ronald Acuna Jr., last season's Arizona Fall League Most Valuable Player, and we'll talk to Fall League Director Steve Cobb later on tonight. Fall League coming up soon. Diamondbacks will have a lot of their top prospects playing in the Arizona Fall League this year. That's become an annual rite of fall, our visit from Steve Cobb every year about this time.
Well, that's because he has nothing else to do right now.
Don't tell him that. Being careful with Freeman behind 2-0. Freeman doubled and scored twice in last night's game. Fastball away. Freddie Freeman 3rd in the National League in hits. And this is a guy that can hit left-hand pitching. .318 versus lefties this year. His double came in the 9th inning last night against left-hander Andrew Chafin.
I mentioned in the ball game last night, for me, Freddie Freeman is a really dangerous hitter, obviously, but especially middle of the plate in. He is so quick with his hands. Try to challenge him inside. You better make sure it's up above his hands. Otherwise, just stay away.
You got Freeman at bat 3rd in the league in hits. Markakis, who leads the league in hits, is on deck. Well, that slider is always there when Patrick needs it, it seems. 3 consecutive 3-2 counts start us off. Got him. Fastball away.
Right fielder, number 22,
That was a big out right there. Need one more. Here's Markakis. 4th in the National League with a .309 batting average. Number 1 in hits and doubles.
You hate to think this way in the first inning, but that strikeout of Freddie Freeman does give you the option of pitching around Nick Markakis if you feel more comfortable going after Tyler Flowers in the on deck circle.
Flowers is a guy that's put up big numbers against left-handers, but you certainly maybe take your chances with him if you want to pitch around. Markakis here. Puts that slider right at the bottom of the zone for a strike. And Markakis, another lefty who hits lefties. He had 4 hits last night, drove in 2 runs. That was the big sequence when the Braves tacked on that run against Chafin in the 9th. Freeman doubled with 2 outs, and Markakis had the RBI single. And in that instance, they did pitch to Markakis with Johan Camargo on deck. And Markakis burned him. First base open.
And we point this out every time we see it because it happens so infrequently in the game nowadays. Markakis is another one of those guys that's hit out of a slightly closed stance. His front foot, the right one, is closer to the inside corner of the plate than his back foot. We just saw Franmil Reyes from the Padres was just in town. He's a guy from the right side of the plate that hits out of a slightly closed stance. Of course, a guy like Giancarlo Stanton, an exaggerated closed stance. But you just don't see it very much anymore. Guys are either square to the pitcher or even opened up on that front side so they can get both eyes on that pitcher.
Patrick really having to work to strand that leadoff double. Already over 20 pitches in the inning. That moth is back. Might be the same one from last night.
He's persistent. I'll give him that. Yeah, last night he was on the mound for a while. Then he was in the batter's box bothering A.J. Pollock during his at bat.
Fastball misses away. It's 3-1. Now this far behind Markakis, maybe you do take a pass and work to Flowers. 3 ball counts on each of the first 4 Brave batters. Patrick still more balls than strikes so far. Tried the fastball, but didn't put it anywhere close. And they will work to Flowers with 2 on and 2 out.
Number 25, Tyler Flowers.
Tyler Flowers, the catcher, 232, 6 homers. Singled and struck out in last night's ball game. He's got Acuna at second and Markakis at first. Well, you mentioned Tyler Flowers has been beating up lefties this year, 20 for 50 and 4 of his 6 home runs against left-hand pitchers.
Well, if the lights go out, we'll know where his batting gloves are because they glow in the dark.
Good slider. Yeah, he's got kind of a futuristic RoboCop look to him, doesn't he? Those gloves appear to have the pads over the top of the hand. Remember when Goldy had to have that insert in his a couple of years ago? I think he still plays with that, actually. It's foul behind Ron Washington at third, and Patrick's ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes. Already a 26 pitch first. Good block by Alex Avila keeps everybody where they are. 2-2 on Flowers.
Flowers is saying that ball clipped him on the back foot. He tried to run down to first base. Doug Innings held him up. Well, the Braves are probably going to take a look over there. Always tough to tell because that slider breaking to the back foot, you don't always see the contact. I didn't see anything there.
He's trying. This is where a lot of people think you need to get rid of this. They're not going to challenge. Get rid of that time period that allows you to take a look and decide if you want to challenge. Some people think, look, if we want to speed the game along, replay's fine, but you have to tell me instantly yes or no. And if it's no, we play on. Two balls and 2 strikes. There goes Acuna, bounce to third. Escobar has to navigate that one and does a nice job. Acuna was right in front of him, and Corbin really labors but strands too. First, Diamondbacks get their first look at your Ram truck starting pitcher for Atlanta. It's the right-hander Kevin Gausman, a losing record this year in Baltimore, but he's won nearly every start he's made with the Braves since he was acquired at the trade deadline.
You see a lot of fastballs. You'll also see a splitter, and throws a hard slider. It does have a curve and a changeup that he rarely uses. It's mostly just a fastball split combination.
Valley Chevy Dealers has the Diamondbacks batting order tonight.
John Jay making his way to the plate. He'll lead it off out in right field. Eduardo Escobar at third base. Paul Goldschmidt at first. David Peralta will be out in left field with A.J. Pollock in center. Daniel Descalso at second base. Nick Ahmed at short. Alex Avila doing the catching, and lefty Patrick Corbin on the mound.
E.D. Marshall Jewelers gives us a look around the diamond at the Braves defense.
Left to right across the outfield, Ronald Acuna, Ender Inciarte, and Nick Markakis. Third to first across the infield, Johan Camargo, Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies, and Freddie Freeman. Tyler Flowers doing the catching tonight for the righty Kevin Gausman.
I think that moth has moved out to second base. It's bugging Ozzie Albies. John Jay starts us off.
It's just a really, really small drone.
Someone has a little tiny controller.
Yeah. Talk about a home field advantage.
Doug Innings has to clean up the plate. John Jay, 276 and 3 homers. Yes. So why didn't someone think of that sooner? Remote controlled insects.
Yeah.
That's going to be the thing that gets us over the top. Jay singled as a pinch hitter last night in the 7th inning. Gets the start tonight in right field. Torey Lovullo getting a couple of extra left-hand bats in there against the righty Gausman, with Jay in right and Descalso at second. There's that split change that Gausman has, and that has been a very good pitch for him. Low roller. Swanson charges. And they retire John Jay to start us off. Eduardo Escobar batting in the 2-hole tonight. 272 and 20 home runs. Torey Lovullo and a lot of the Diamondbacks front office from their time in Boston saw a lot of Kevin Gausman when he was in Baltimore. And Torey was telling us before the game today, very live down fastball, consistent mid-90s. But he's also started, as so many guys seem to, there's the fastball, elevate that ball, which Torey says is the new normal. Everybody is now working up and down.
Well, you knew there would be some kind of adjustment with just about every hitter in baseball trying to work on his launch angle and get the ball in the air a little bit more. And to combat that, pitchers that have good four-seam fastballs work across the top of the zone. They get a lot of pop-ups, a lot of swings and misses, and foul balls.
And working up and down, varying your location really helps make that split changeup even more effective. There's another fastball up in there for a strike. And Gausman's got a slider too. He's basically a three-pitch guy. Escobar had a tough night last night. 0 for 5. He struck out 3 times and hit into a double play to end a rally in the 7th. Changeup is in the dirt, 2-2.
We saw Tyler Flowers during the course of his at bat with those glow-in-the-dark batting gloves. He doubled down. He's got glow-in-the-dark nail polish on his right hand to give signs.
Escobar reaches out and oh my goodness, look at Acuna go get it. That should have dropped in for a base hit. Instead, there's Ronald Acuna Jr. That looked like a certain dunk shot base hit in left center.
That's the kind of play a 20-year-old will make. No fear whatsoever. He's not even concerned that that ball might get behind him. He's just going to outrun it and beat it to the spot, and he does just that. What a nice play.
Paul Goldschmidt now back into the top 10 in the National League in hitting with what has become a .298 batting average. Exactly 90 games ago, that batting average was .198. As we told you at the top of the show, he has improved his average exactly 100 points in exactly 90 games. Pretty impressive.
Well, you can talk to a lot of people that have been around the game of baseball for a long time, and they will tell you that that's nearly impossible to do. Once you've accumulated that many at bats at that point in the season, to have your average go up more than a point a day, that is just remarkable.
Fly ball, deep right field. And gone. Last night in the 9th tied it. This one in the 1st tonight gives the D-backs the lead.
Oh, belt high four-seamer out over the plate for Goldy. That made that sound again. We haven't heard that sound on a ball hit to right field in quite a while. Goldy rides this one out of here easily.
His 33rd. And as a jumbo jack, free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with a purchase of a large drink. Late time granted by Doug Innings. So Goldy homered in his final at bat last night. Homers in his first at bat tonight. And he's now hit safely in 8 straight games. Put that in your Goldy gift bag. David Peralta swing and a miss on another fastball up from Gausman. Peralta 296, 26 home runs. David coming off a 3-hit night last night. Fastball's away so far from Gosselin, and he's ahead 0-2.
33 homers for Goldy this season. 13 of those have come in the first inning of a ball game, and 12 have been to the opposite field, which is the most in the National League.
Saw that score in Detroit where the Tigers just walked off the Cardinals. That helps the Diamondbacks wild card possibilities, chasing Milwaukee and St. Louis in the NL wild card. Here's that fastball up we talked about. Peralta lays off, and it's 1-2. Now do you back that up with the split change in a 1-2 count? Try to. Misses low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. AJ on deck. Pollock was in the leadoff spot last night. He's batting 5th tonight. Braves are in a division race of their own. 3.5 games ahead of the Phillies atop the National League East. Ryan Snitker's ball club 14 over 500 this year with their win last night. Hansby Swanson at shortstop. Well, Goldy's done it again, his 33rd. A 2-out opposite field home run, and as we head to the second, it's 1-0 D-backs.
Home run number 33 for Paul Goldschmidt, and we are up here on the concourse, section 132 and 133. It's the favorite things auction. The D-backs wives putting it together. You saw Paul Goldschmidt's basket there, all of his favorite things, and I am here alongside Julia Descalzo, who of course put a basket together for her husband Daniel. And Julia, you know what, just tell me a little bit about where the money is going, because I know people can log on at dbacks.com/favorite things and go ahead and bid on these baskets.
Yes, so all the proceeds are going to the Singletons, Arizona, and it's a nonprofit organization that serves the greater Phoenix area and surrounding areas, and it serves the single parents with cancer as well as parents who have children with cancer, single parents. So there's a lot of services that they provide, and they have volunteers that drive out, deliver food, deliver bare necessities, as well as a lot of other services.
Great cause. And so just real quick, some really interesting baskets here. What is in Daniel's favorite things basket?
So we have a few gift cards to our favorite restaurant here, The Mission.
Good one.
He is a big moviegoer, So we have some movie passes in there along with popcorn. I think he does have popcorn like almost every night, so he loves his popcorn. His favorite candy, Starburst. We have some signed jersey, signed hats, as well as he's a avid golfer and has some golf equipment in there as well. Yeah, as well as some hats and other stuff.
He's out there making plays right now there on the field. I hear you're quite a golfer too, by the way. Thank you so much for being here. Cutest pregnant woman ever, by the way.
Thank you so much.
All right, so Julia and a lot of the wives out here working hard. And once again, guys, this auction is actually through September 15th. You can go to dbacks.com/favorite things to put in your bid.
Oh, what do you think is in Chafin's?
Well, there's a fishing pole right there. I see that.
Exactly. Thank you, Jody. Great job by all the players and coaches' wives. Ozzy Albies grounds out to start the second. Here's Ender Inciarte.
Yeah, obviously, we encourage the fans to come out and bid on some of those baskets, but at least come out and check them out. It's good background on the players. What kind of interest do they have away from the field? What do they like to eat? Where are their favorite restaurants? It's a good way to get to know your team.
Yeah, it's a nice personalized touch that the Descalzos put together with the popcorn. We have popcorn at our house almost every night. Make it on the stove. We go to a lot of movies. It sort of gives you an idea what they do in their downtime. It's a nice touch.
Oh, Swedish fish.
That would last about 30 seconds. And the mission is tremendous.
Yeah.
Ever go there in Old Town?
Good stuff.
Oh, that's great Mexican food.
Robbie's got some lures in there.
He's got his basket in a cooler as Inciarte looks at strike three.
I think that'd be a good idea. Like if, say, for example, Goldy hits a home run against a pitcher and he's immediately taken out of the game. Give him lovely parting gifts. Here's a Goldy gift basket since he just knocked you out of the game.
You just hand it to him as he's walking back to the dugout about halfway.
Thanks for stopping by.
It might not go so well every once in a while.
Enjoy your lovely parting gifts.
We got some turtle wax and some Z-Brick. There's the fastball inside. Or the Paw Patrol.
Oh, yeah, now you're talking.
Oh, that's Zach Greinke's basket. Patrick really labored to strand two runners in the first. Threw more balls than strikes in that first inning. But now we're starting to find that strike zone a little more often here in the second, ahead of Swanson 0-2. With the pitcher Gosman up next, but not in the on-deck circle. Thought that was a rule. Don't you have to have a guy out there?
Yeah, I thought it was a rule too. I mean,
Gosman's nowhere to be found.
most teams want that pitcher up in the on-deck circle if there's runners on base, and there could possibly be at the plate, and you need to be a coach in that situation as the on-deck hitter. But with nobody on base, Gosman nowhere to be seen.
Popped it up. Goldy on the line. Nice bounce back, tidy, efficient second for Patrick Corbin. D-backs gift baskets. They lead it 1-0. Brought to you by T-Mobile. The Cardinals in Detroit. Jamer Candelario walks it off for the Tigers. And that certainly helps the Diamondbacks' wild card cause. 5-3 the final at Comerica Park in Detroit. Now we're keeping an eye on Milwaukee and St. Louis. Two teams that are ahead of the Diamondbacks in the wild card right now.
Boy, Detroit cruising in at 23 games behind the Cleveland Indians in that American League Central Division. Boy, that has to hurt to choke that one off.
A.J. Pollock. So let's take an updated look at the wild card standings. That's where things stand right now. Diamondbacks 2.5 back of the second wild card spot. So as of this moment, neither the Dodgers or the D-backs are in the playoffs. Dodgers and Rockies still tied in Colorado 2-2. They're in the fifth. There's a strike. A.J. single, drove in a run last night. Braves put 3 infielders on the left side against him. He hits one deep to center field. It backs up Inciarte. He got it. Well, Ender Inciarte, the National League's Gold Glove center fielder each of the last 2 years. And he may have taken extra bases away right there.
Had to do a little geometry in his head there as he got back closer and closer to that fence, trying to figure out, can I jump high enough to make the play, or should I back off the wall and play the carom? And that time Inciarte able to make the play right up against the fence.
AJ's bat lately really starting to make some noise. Descalso at 250 and a dozen home runs. The starter at second base tonight.
AJ needs to start pulling the ball or pushing it to right field a little bit more. A lot of his hard hit balls lately have been between the 413 marks out there in straightaway center.
Couldn't check, tried to on the fastball, and it's 0-2. Kevin Gausman has been quite a pickup for Atlanta. In 6 starts since his trade from Baltimore, he's 4-1. And in those 6 starts, only twice has he given up more than 1 earned run. He's been tough. Another fastball fouled away. Gausman was a star pitcher at a powerhouse college program, LSU. The Orioles took him with a 4th overall pick in the 2012 draft, but it just never panned out for Gausman in Baltimore. He lost a lot more games than he won there, and then finally dealt to Atlanta at this year's trade deadline, where he's looked like a whole different guy. There's the split change, 1-2.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Baltimore, they got to their 100th loss tonight. 41-100.
Not only that, they lost at Tampa 14-2.
Just getting out of that environment for Gausman has to be an improvement. You know, pitching for a team that's in a pennant race. I
tell you what, if you're in the American League East, I mean, imagine this: the Orioles, as you said, 41-100, right? They are 55 games out of first place. That's a tough gig. Well, we're only 55 back. We're still in this thing. Oh, good take right there. Lays off that split change away, and it's full 3-2. Got him on a fastball. First strikeout for Kevin Gausman.
Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Nick Ahmed, 243, 16 home runs. Boy, Nick has been getting some real big hits lately. And the 2-out 3-run double in the 4th inning last night. And then some great at bats late in the ball game. Singled in the 8th, walked in the 9th. And he shoots that one to left center. Acuña's off the glove. Inciarte backing up. Ahmed's in at second. Boy, Nick is really barreling up the baseball lately.
Acuña just didn't look it all the way into the glove. Hit off the thumb and dropped safely out there in the gap in left center. Nick ends up at second base with 2 outs in the inning.
Alex Avila will be the hitter. They put a base hit up on the board for Ahmed, his 29th double this year. And they'll give Avila the free pass, first base open, and the pitcher on deck, and Patrick Corbin will hit. A reminder, we'll talk Arizona Fall League in the top of the 3rd inning. The great Steve Cobb is with us, Arizona Fall League director. Diamondbacks will have a lot of their top prospects playing in the Fall League this year all over the valley. So we'll talk to Steve about that in the next half inning. A chance for Corbin here. 2 on and 2 out. We know Patrick can be a hitter. He's got 5 RBIs. We've really seen Gausman elevate that fastball a lot early. Corbin couldn't check, and it's 0-1. The splitters, a strike, and it's 0-2. Ahmed is at second. Avila's at first. Little tapper back to Gausman. And he's able to strand 2. It's 1-0 Diamondbacks. When we come back, we'll talk to Arizona Fall League director Steve Cobb. It's almost October, which means it's almost time for the Arizona Fall League. Our annual visit from Fall League Director Steve Cobb. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. Very excited about the upcoming season.
Bob says you're not doing anything right now, just hanging around.
Well, just waiting for players to show up. Hopefully they show up.
It's a great treat for all us baseball fans here in the Valley. Tell us basically, what is the Arizona Fall League? How does it work, and where and when can I see the games?
Well, our slogan this year is baseball's hidden gem, and that's a statement that we're making after 27 seasons. So what it is where the top minor league players, the top major league prospects from all 30 organizations come to Arizona for a 6-week graduate school, a finishing school. And so this is where they have an opportunity to hone their skills, and many of the players we have are just an eyelash away from being in the major leagues.
And the list of Arizona Fall League graduates is very impressive. Ronald Acuna Jr., who's on deck actually for the Braves, was last year's Fall League MVP. This really is, in terms of prospects, the cream of the crop, isn't it?
Absolutely, and this year will not be an exception. Will not be an exception because we have 5 of the 11 top minor league players in the country coming to the league, starting with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who is the top prospect in most polls these days.
Now, these are the Fall League team logos and hats. You can buy those here at ballparks all over the Valley. So they get all the prospects together. They divide them up into 6 teams, right?
Correct.
And they're all over the Valley, and they play 3 games a day.
We pair up 5 organizations go together to form each Fall League team, and each major league organization sends 7 players to the league. So that's how we go about it, and again, they wear their respective major league uniforms, so you can certainly identify the players that are in the pipeline for your favorite major league team.
So what was it like last year to have Ronald Acuna Jr. in your league and wind up as league MVP as he steps up right here?
Well, he had an outstanding season. That's somehow an understatement, but from start to finish, he was clearly distinguished himself as the premier player in the league last year. So whatever he's accomplished this year, and it's I think many people would think that he's a prime leading candidate for the National League Rookie of the Year. It doesn't surprise me.
It's one of the great treats for me because we live in the Valley year round, and a guy comes up like Acuna or somebody, and right away I say, well, I saw this guy in the Fall League last year, 2 years ago, and it happens all the time.
Well, it's the discovery, and I think that's what makes it exciting for fans, that you get a chance to see the players that are legitimately in the pipeline, but it's up close and personal in our league. I mean, it's you can sit where you want to sit, and it's very intimate, and you can be very involved in what is going on.
Acuna hits one to right, but John Jay is there. I know you've got some special events over the course of your season. When does the season begin?
We begin October 9th, and we will conclude on November 17th with our championship game at Scottsdale Stadium. Normally we play 2-day games and 1-night game, so fans have a chance in theory to see 2 games a day if they want.
Where do I go every day? I know there's a website.
The website is MLBfallball.com.
And every day I know you can go on there, and there's a schedule and the anticipated lineups. And if you say, oh, I want to go see that outfield prospect that Cleveland has, you can find out which team he's on and if he's in the lineup that day and go see him play.
Yes, we post the lineups in advance, and that's for primarily the scouts, frankly, that are there, but certainly fans have access to that as well.
And we know Major League Baseball at times has instituted new rules at the minor league level, kind of as a test pattern, if you will. Are there any new rules in the Fall League? Anything you guys are testing out?
This is a deep drive to center by Camargo, and it is way gone for a home run. Johan Camargo, deep to center field. He homered last night, and he homers again tonight. That's his 17th.
We're just sitting here trying to figure out why we missed him or how we missed him.
He's had a nice year, 24-year-old.
That was quite a stroke right there. But in terms of any new things in the pipeline, the honest answer is it's a little early. Those usually fall down from on high in the 11th hour, to be very honest with you.
But I know Fridays are different in the Fall League, right? There's a mystery bobblehead giveaway every Friday?
Yeah, that's a fun promotion. This is probably the 4th or 5th year of it, but the all 30 major league organizations participate in this by sending samples of the bobbleheads that they gave out during the regular season. So what we do, we put them, wrap them all up in brown paper bags, and we'll call lucky numbers, and fans can win, you know, bobbleheads from the Atlanta Braves or the New York Yankees or wherever. And it's exciting because in many cases they've never even seen, you know, what's being offered to them.
And of course, does it start again with the Bowman Hitting Challenge? I know that's at Sloan Park this year, right?
Well, it'll be the first week of competition. So that will be Saturday, October 13th at Sloan Park.
Which is the craziest home run derby, Bob, you've ever seen. There's targets out there, guys are running around, and it's something to see.
Yeah, Steve has been kind over the years to help us out with that event, and it's fast-paced. You know, the players are certainly trying to hit home runs for points with designated point values in beyond the fence. But when they don't, we also have stationary and moving targets. And when a batted ball hits one of those targets, fans win prizes.
Oh,
so now all of a sudden they're cheering when they may not be doing that in another setting. So it's fun. The players seem to enjoy it, and it's a great way for us to showcase some of our top talent.
And you can get copies of the schedules both online and here at Chase Field. There's the 3-2 to Freddie Freeman, and Patrick Corbin gets the strikeout, but the Braves get the equalizer. The great Steve Cobb, we will see you, sir, all over the valley this fall.
Well, we love it, and thank you for all the cooperation from the Diamondbacks.
Our pleasure. Margot. Fans arrive early to our game tomorrow. You'll get the Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead courtesy of Pepsi. And the APS D-backs Fiesta takes place outside the ballpark from 2 to 5 in the afternoon with live music, food, and family entertainment. Big day at the ballpark tomorrow. Check it out, dbacks.com. John Jay, the leadoff man, leads off the third. So tomorrow is your last chance, or tonight, I guess, your last chance to go online, get your ticket. This is the Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead, maybe the coolest bobblehead of the year, and certainly the coolest box.
I'm a big fan of the box. I really like it. They showcase some of Ketel's favorite footwear.
We saw a lot of that in his closet on the pregame show. They took us into Ketel Marte's closet, which looks like something out of the Real Housewives. One and one on John Jay. Jay grounded out his first time up against Kevin Gausman. With that home run by Johan Camargo, only the 13th given up by Patrick Corbin all year.
I mentioned this last night, partner. Tyler Flowers behind the plate drops down to a knee on almost every pitch. Now, last time I checked, and it's been a while, he graded out as one of the better pitch framers in all of baseball, but he always does it from one knee down.
Is that because he's such a big guy?
I think perhaps so. I would imagine at some point in his career, if he tried to sit like a regular catcher would sit behind the plate, pitchers probably complained, I can't get the ball down. I can't get the ball down. Big hulking guy back there behind the plate. And possibly in order to give a lower target, he drops down to that knee and scrunches that big old body up as small as he can.
He's a big dude, 6'4", 260 pounds, Tyler Flowers. He's about as tall kneeling as a lot of guys are standing up.
We've seen him in the last ball game last night, and so far tonight. There's Kurt Suzuki, caught the ball game for the Braves last night, but Flowers came in late, and you know, for a big guy, he gets underneath low pitches and is always pushing them back up toward the middle of the strike zone.
Well, Jay really putting up a fight here, 2-2.
And that's the pitch a pitcher really wants, that one down there at the bottom of the kneecaps. You want to get that called strike if you execute that pitch down there at the bottom of the zone. And if your catcher can get underneath it and have his glove moving up as he receives the pitch, you're more likely to get that call.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but there's good news. The Dodgers have scored again. I think we want the Dodgers to win, right? We want to cool the Rockies off a bit. Los Angeles has a 4-2 lead. They've just gone to the bottom of the 5th at Coors Field. Rockies have been rolling, but the Dodgers lead it 4-2. Kershaw still pitching. John Gray has come out of the ball game for Colorado. And Jay strikes out on that split changeup.
It's never an easy thing to do, to root for the Dodgers.
Oh, goes against every fiber of your being.
I'm rooting for like a 99-inning game.
Yes.
Play forever.
Blow out the bullpens. 15 innings every night, the whole series. He's watching on his phone. Must be friends of our director, Brian Moss. Eduardo Escobar. Escobar flat out his first time. Looks like he left them tickets again. Braves overload the first base side against Escobar. We have seen Eduardo more and more lately chasing pitches out of the zone, especially up above the strike zone. And teams seem to be taking advantage of that. Here's a look at the defensive alignment against him. Escobar coming off an 0 for 5 night last night. He punched out 3 times. He chased a high fastball right there on 2-0. Talking to Torey Lovullo about that before the game today. He'd like to see Escobar shrink that strike zone, be a little more selective up there.
Certainly that would apply to Eduardo Escobar, but also a number of other hitters in the Diamondbacks lineup that recently have been chasing a lot of bad pitches. I think everybody's just pressing, trying to be the guy to snap the team out of the offensive slump.
That one is ripped foul. I think you're right. They have looked a little tight and tentative, and Torey's been very consistent on that point, Bob, saying it gets too many guys are just swinging at pitches that aren't meant to be hit.
I mean, you know that yourself. Torey talking to Mike Butcher about how to attack an opposing lineup. If there's a guy in the opposing lineup that will swing at bad pitches, don't even throw him a strike. You know, bounce the slider, elevate the fastball, lead him off the outside corner of the plate. And if you get a couple of Diamondbacks in the lineup chasing bad pitches, that's probably what's going to happen to them too.
Wanted the fastball up, didn't get it up enough, and there's a little dunk shot into left. Escobar's got a 1-out single, and here comes Goldy. Goldy homered in the first, his 33rd of the year. He homered in his final at bat last night, homered in his first at bat tonight. Torey was telling us before the game today, you know, Goldy was the last guy up there, 2 outs, 2 strikes. down 1 in the 9th inning. He hit that big home run. He said, you know what? For a minute, Goldy actually broke into a smile.
No.
Almost. Yeah, almost. Wasn't a full smile, kind of a smirk. But Torrey was sort of having some fun with Paul about that. And then he started us off again with an opposite field home run in the first.
Yeah, it was quick work. Slider in the dirt away and didn't even think about offering. And then a 94-mile-an-hour fastball up and out over the plate, stays right on it to right field. His 33rd home run of the season. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game.
And Goldy, we talked about the slow start and how he's raised his batting average for the year 100 points in 90 games. And even with that start, he's got a chance to match his career high home run total of 36, which he's done twice, including last year. He's only 3 away now. Laid off the split, saw it. But Doug Innings gave Gausman the strike call. 2-1. Well, Gausman has been very efficient. 49 pitches, 31 strikes. He's only walked 1 batter. That was intentional. He's got 2 strikeouts. Bounced up the middle. Swanson knocks it down, and everybody's safe. Goldy 2 for 2.
Ground ball back up the middle. Most teams shift a little bit on Goldy. The Braves do not, however. Ozzie Albies was at his position at second base. Swanson, the only guy that could possibly make a play, and he just clanks it off the thumb of his glove, trying to make a diving attempt.
Goldy now with an 8-game hitting streak. He's had 5 multi-hit games during that streak. A chance for the freight train, David Peralta, who grounded out his first time up. 2 on and 1 out. Tied 1-1, bottom third. Starts him off with that split change, well down and away. 0-1. Escobar's at second, Goldy at first. Base hit. They wave Escobar. Goldy headed for third, and they overthrow the third baseman. Inciarte airmailed it, and the Diamondbacks take the lead. That one stuck through the infield. Inciarte almost threw it into the stands.
Well-placed grounder right back up the middle of the field once again. Dansby Swanson is shaded up the middle of the field, but can't not get to the spot. Ender Inciarte showcasing a cannon out there in center field. Unfortunately, he threw it over into the Diamondbacks bench, allowing David Peralta to move into scoring position as well.
Linking at bats, 3 consecutive 1-out hits. Here's A.J. Pollock, a chance to keep it going. Second and third, 1 down. A.J. flied out deep to center. His first time up, Inciarte caught the ball up against the wall. This is with a changeup. AJ, the way he's been going, he's due to crank one out of here. It's been coming for a while now. Another changeup, 1-1.
Yeah, occasionally you'll see Tyler Flowers hang down a sign with just his index finger and his little finger, kind of a hook 'em horns. That's the signal for the split finger fastball. If you think about it, you know, an index finger one into a righty is a sinker, and a pinky finger pointing toward the outside corner is usually a cutter or a four-seamer away. So if you show both of those, that's the split fingered fastball.
So far, nothing but that split changeup to Pollock, trying to get these runs in, and Gosman's ahead 1-2. Not giving him anything to hit. Descalso, the on-deck man. Goldy's at third, Peralta's at second. A run is in. D-backs already with 5 hits.
With a home run in the first inning and a single here in the third, Goldy is now hitting 300 on the button.
May 22nd, he was batting 198. Did some quick ciphering there, I noticed. Nice job.
My staff's pretty good at ciphering.
Doing the gazintas. Tried him to get a bite on that slider. That's that breaking ball that Gosman only throws occasionally. You don't see it a whole lot. He's mostly fastball changeup. And AJ's worked it full 3-2. Haven't had a whole lot of big crooked numbers lately. Chance to put one up right here. He missed in, and they're loaded for Descalso. Boy, Gosman really nibbled in that at bat against Pollock.
Well, they did have a base open down there at first. Might have been spooked by that fly ball to center field that Pollock hit leading off the second inning that chased Inciarte all the way to the wall. But yeah, you're right. He was just kind of nibbling around the edges, hoping to get AJ to chase something bad. And I take it as a positive sign that AJ did not chase that time.
Yeah, Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach, out to talk to Gosman. And a chance for Daniel Descalso. Daniel struck out as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning last night. He struck out his first time up tonight. Bases full and 1 down. We've got Goldy at third, Peralta's at second, and Pollock at first. That's awesome. Swanson, the shortstop, will play up the middle. Ooh, fastball away. Got the call from Doug Innings. That appeared to be well off the plate. 1-1. Gosman has had to work a lot harder in the last 2 innings. Now up to 60 pitches, 37 strikes. Another one out there, a little bit too much, and it's 2-1.
That last pitch was Greg Maddux-like. That's what Mad Dog used to do. He threw a fastball off the plate away and got a called strike. Scooted over a couple more inches. See how far out there he'll go.
Got a fastball to hit there, and it's 2-2. Kevin Gosman in his first start for the Braves after the trade from the Orioles. Pitched pretty well but lost to the Mets. Atlanta got shut out. And then Gausman won his next 4 starts and gave up a total of only 3 runs. But he's in a bases loaded 1-out mess right here. The 2-2 to Descalso. Punches that one foul. Another split changeup. Nick Ahmed would be next. He doubled his first time up. Base hit. Goldy scores. Here comes Peralta. AJ's in at third. Descalso is out at second, trying to pick up the extra base, but it's 4-1 D-backs.
Good grinding at bat by Daniel Descalso. Gets out around that splitter, working away from him. Finds a hole on the right side. Off to the races. Nick Markakis airmails one over all the cutoff man all the way to Camargo at third base, who makes a nice recovery to get Daniel Descalso there at second base. But that's the second time a Braves outfielder has overthrown the cutoff man, and it's cost him an extra 90 feet.
Both guys Gold Glove outfielders as well, Inciarte and Markakis. So it's a 3-run inning, a 4-1 lead. You've got 2 outs, Pollock at third, and here's Nick Ahmed, who doubled his last time up. One and one on Nick. Well, Gausman's really had to work in this third. Diamondbacks have sent 7 men to the plate, 3 runs in so far. Still 4-2 Dodgers. They're in the 6th inning in Colorado. Keeping an eye on the scoreboard. D-backs 2.5 games behind the Rockies. Their biggest division deficit all year. Dodgers in second place. They're 1.5 games behind Colorado. One and two on Nick Ahmed. AJ at third. That one bounces up there, not far enough away from Flowers for Pollock to advance. Tony Perez-Chica coaching at third. Tell you what, if there's one catcher who does not worry about home plate collisions, it's Tyler Flowers. I mean, what knucklehead is going to run into that guy? You might as well just get a running start into a brick wall.
Just run into the backstop.
Chase Field on a Friday night in downtown Phoenix. D-backs chipping away at Kevin Gausman. Here's the 2-2 to Nick Ahmed. Got him. Went to that split changeup, but the Diamondbacks get 3. They take a 4-1 lead. The Dodgers tied with the Rockies 2-2. Verdugo to third. Arenado, a rare throwing error by the Colorado third baseman. That brings in an LA run. And then Yasiel Puig bounces one over the head of Desmond at first. It scores another Dodger run. They lead 4-2, bottom 6 at Coors Field. Here it's 4-1 Diamondbacks. Top fourth at Chase. And Nick Markakis leads off the Braves fourth against Patrick Corbin. Don't forget, big day here tomorrow. Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead, the APS D-backs Fiesta. Pre-game outside the ballpark from 2 to 5. Live music, food, family entertainment. Big day planned here tomorrow. Hispanic Heritage Day. It's presented by Bud Light. Markakis hits one by Descalso into right center. He's aboard for the second time tonight after he walked in the first leadoff single. Brings up the catcher Tyler Flowers.
So vitally important to put a 0 on the board right now. Diamondbacks offense has struggled mightily recently. Put a 3 spot on the board in the bottom half of the third inning. You got to put a 0 up there right now. Get your team back up there swinging the bats again and hopefully build on the momentum from that bottom half of the third.
Get that shutdown inning. Flowers grounded out his first time up to end the first. This one is out to right for Jay. Makes a nice sliding grab, one away.
Receive 15% off at the Chase Field Team Shop when you use the card by Gila River Casinos.
Ozzie Albies, the second baseman, grounded out his first time up. Ozzie Albies, a National League All-Star this year at the age of 21. That's the thing about Atlanta. Albies is 21. Acuna is 20. They got a lot of young talent on this ball club. And Johan Camargo's part of that equation. He's only 24. Dansby Swanson only 24. They got some young pitching. Former D-back pick Touki Toussaint is up with the big league club now. Touki will start here on Sunday in the series finale against Robbie Ray. Albies, another switch hitter. He can homer from either side of the plate. But most of his power comes as a left-hand batter. He's hitting .355 batting right-handed this year. 22 homers, most of those from the left side.
Patrick still struggling a little bit with that fastball command. He'd only thrown half of his fastballs for strikes coming into this fourth inning. He'd been much more successful throwing the slider for strikes.
That slider has been a swing and miss pitch for him from the first day this year. Oh my goodness.
What is that? Heartburn in a bag? What is that?
I thought for a second it was a bait for one of your fishing trips. It's all packed away in there. You mentioned Patrick's slider and what a good strike pitch that's been for him. Sports Info Solutions has been tracking pitch data for 15 years now, and over the last 15 seasons only 2 pitchers have had more strikeouts with a slider in 1 year. Both times it's been former Tampa Bay pitcher Chris Archer. He's the only guy who's had more strikeouts with a slider in 15 years than Patrick Corbin. Peralta's got it. Trying to leave Markakis at first. 2 outs for Inciarte.
A couple of well-struck balls. Flowers with a line drive to right. Took a nice tumbling catch by John Jay. And that time Albies going the opposite way. And David Peralta got a real good jump. Came in and made a play on a line drive.
So here is Ender. Struck out looking his first time. They got him on a fastball down and away. Inciarte 257 for the year. He's only 225 against lefties. Markakis at first. 2 outs.
He's kind of a how you doing over there throw to first base that time. Markakis has only attempted 2 steals all year. Been caught once, successful once.
Buckled him a bit on that slider. Got the call, and it's 0-1. Ender's swinging it well right now. He's hitting .350 in his last 11 games. He singled and walked in last night's ball game. Ooh. Got the call on the last one. Didn't get that one. 1-1. 3 sliders so far. Markakis stays put. Eric Young Sr. coaching at first for the Braves. I was talking to EY about this team yesterday. He says playoff pressure, they're leading the NL East, doesn't matter. Not even a thing for this Braves team. He says they're so young they just go out and play. And it doesn't even occur to them to be nervous. He's having a lot of fun with this Braves ball club.
Hey, who else is having a lot of fun with this Braves team is third base coach Ron Washington, as that check swing is called a strike. Seen Ron Washington out here the last couple days working out with Camargo and Dansby Swanson and Ozzie Albies at different times. Over here in foul territory on the first base line, they have a glove that doesn't have a pocket in it, so you have to use your bare hand. You use the glove just to slow the ball down and grab it with your bare hand. He has drills where they field to the backhand side, to the forehand side. He hits them 1-hoppers. He hits them 2-hoppers. All this before they take the field to take their regular ground balls.
Infield coach. Picking machine. Inciarte chases that slider, and that's it for the Braves' threat here in the 4th. Corbin with 6 strikeouts. He leads at 4-1. got himself ejected by plate umpire Doug Innings. This was right after the strikeout, and that's it. And then we had some dirt kicking and some posturing. Ron Washington in there trying to cool off Inciarte, but Ender has been ejected. And so the former Cincinnati Red Adam Duvall will take over in left field, and Ronald Acuna Jr. replaces Inciarte in center. Alex Avila leads off the D-back fourth against Kevin Gausman. Braves overload the first base side against Avila. Got a whole batch of letters again today, BB. A lot of D-back fans out there watching. Mary Kay and Gary Miller watching in Sedona. Big D-backs fans. They have relatives all over Ohio, they said to tell you. They got relatives in Newark, Utica, Granville, Ohio. Are those actual places?
Yeah,
I know Newark is.
Granville is not far from Coshocton at all. It's right outside Newark.
So hi to Gary and Mary Kay in Sedona. Thanks for watching D-backs baseball. Wendy from Prescott says she watches all the games. Hi, Wendy. She's over there in Prescott watching Diamondbacks baseball. Hi, Wendy. We need to send a big get well soon to Marvin Adams. Marvin is from Cottonwood. And Sonny wrote us, sent us a nice card. Says Marvin yells at the TV a lot, but he recently had an injury, and so we got to get on Marvin to do your rehab work. Marvin, don't just sit there yelling at the TV watching Diamondback baseball. You got to do what they tell you to do. So get well soon, Marvin and Sonny Adams in Cottonwood.
Although, Marvin, I will say yelling at the TV, I think, is part of any good rehab program, regardless of the injury or illness.
We got a nice letter from Denise McCombs in Tempe. Denise pushing another one pushing for you to have your own show. She wants to call it Fishing with Bob Brenly. You take a celebrity out there and you go fishing. Chat about pizza, baseball, whatever you want. So thank you, Denise in Tempe, for that letter. 2-2 on Avila.
And we sent out best wishes from the Diamondbacks to good friends of mine, Kathy and Greg Hunt in Cave Creek, Arizona. Kathy is recently taken ill, and I know she's watching the ball game tonight, and hope she takes good care of herself. Needs to see her back out here at the ballpark soon.
That's right, Kathy. Don't be sitting up there in Cave Creek just watching the games on TV. We need you down here. This is a pennant race. Got a letter from Joanne Mortensen in Peoria, who says she used to go to a lot of Phoenix Giants games.
Oh, nice.
Big baseball fan. And when she was a kid, she used to go to movies at the old Fox Theater. And she once saw, she says, Joe DiMaggio there with Marilyn Monroe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's big league.
She sent us a nice card with a letter with a whole story. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
How about that? So thank you, Joanne in Peoria.
Yeah, and thank you for coming out and supporting the Phoenix Giants.
Yeah. She used to go to a lot of their games, she said. 2-2 on Avila. You've got the pitcher Corbin on deck. A lot of our fans out there. We got a letter from Debbie in Fountain Hills. My husband and I just love to watch the Diamondbacks play from Fountain Hills. Look forward to the games every night. Thanks so much. Debbie Schuschler in Fountain Hills. Big D-back fan.
Nice going, Debbie.
That one just misses. Good at bat by Avila. We need to give a big shout out to Charlie and Phyllis Hall. They watch every D-back game from their house in Glendale. So Charlie and Phyllis, we really appreciate your support. They've been married for 60 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Charlie and Phyllis Hall in Glendale. Hi, guys. And thanks to Mike and Sandy for the letter from Peoria. As Avila strikes out, Gosman finally wore him down. That's his 4th strikeout. Brings up Patrick Corbin. You know, we got that big homestand coming up later this month. It starts on September 17th. 3 against the Cubs, 3 against the Rockies, and 3 against the Dodgers. Those are going to be enormous games. Biggest homestand of the year, no question about it. 0-1 on Corbin. dbacks.com/tickets. Got a letter from Peggy Henson in Arlington, Arizona. Peggy says, I'm going to be at the Cubs D-backs game September 17th with my grandson Corey and his girlfriend Zoe. Zoe has never been to a major league game. So that is going to be her first. Cubs and D-backs right here, Chase Field, September 17th. Peggy will be here from Arlington. Thanks, Peggy. So you can follow Peggy down to dbacks.com. Get your tickets. Don't miss any of those games of that series if you can help it. That's going to be really the make or break homestand. A lot of folks planning on coming down.
Boy, what a first experience for Zoe. A Cubs Diamondbacks game in a pennant race.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
2-2 on Corbin. Well, she knows how to pick them. John Jay on deck. 2-2 on Patrick. That one is fair down the line. Corbin shoots it the other way. Duvall picks it up and holds Patrick to a long single. Just punched it fair down the line at third. Hey fans, don't forget you can play along right there from home along with all of us at the ballpark. It's the D-backs 50-50 charity raffle presented by the Arizona Lottery. You can win half the pot, which right now is over $19,000, and help kids in our community. Get your tickets online during every D-backs home game on Fox Sports Arizona at dbacks.com/50-50 raffle, and the winning number is on the post-game show. John Jay 0 for 2. Cindy Robertson in Prescott sent us a card. Says she loves the D-backs. She watched them win the World Series. Good job, BB. I live in Prescott and I watch every game. So thank you, Cindy Robertson.
A lot of fans in Prescott watching.
Yeah, you know, that's true. We've had a lot of cards from Prescott. That's a good call. Nice of you to get the attaboy for that, too. Lines it right to Swanson, and they double off Corbin. Dansby Swanson was perfectly positioned. And not only does he take a base hit away, he ends the inning, but it's 4-1 Diamondbacks.
big celebration here, Hispanic Heritage Day, and the Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead. Now you may see the new look here by Ketel, as Mark Grace called it. Canary is the color that he's dyed his hair right there. I talked to Ketel today. He said his wife dyed his hair back on Monday. You know, he just likes to change it up. Torey Lovello says he loves it. Ketel always keeps him on his toes looking for new hairstyles and things like that. And Torey actually revealed he once dyed his hair blonde. It was his players in Columbus, Georgia when he started his managerial career. And they were way back in the standings. They said, if we make the finals, I'll dye my hair blonde. So Torey once dyed his hair blonde as well. But Ketel, he says he really enjoys changing things up. They did lose a few games, of course, over the weekend. He said, you know, why not? So I like it, guys. I don't know. I don't know if it'll become a trend and guys will do something a little bit different. But for Ketel, it works for him.
Well, you're a blonde. Did you give him any tips?
No, I mean,
hair
you know,
care?
I thought, did he maybe go to a... I kind of knew he didn't go to a salon or something, but I wasn't sure if he did it himself. But his wife, Elisa, did it.
I was going to say, how could you tell? David Peralta left. Thank you, Joey. Swanson's retired to start the fifth.
Well, if Torey's thinking about dyeing his hair blonde, I would suggest he do it relatively soon.
I was going to say, Torey pays attention to hairstyles?
Yeah, because that seat he's sitting in, it tends to take a toll on the hair.
Well, only in some cases, maybe. I think you pull it off, though. Kevin Gosman.
Brian Snitker, he just gave up. He fought a good fight for years and years and years and finally decided to just shave it all off.
Well, sometimes those power alleys, they get deeper and deeper.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Pretty soon the fence is way back there, and that's it. Here's our Golden Glover down the left field line. There's Ron Pennington tonight. And Sam No Neck Noriega is our Golden Glover working right field tonight. There's Sam. We call Sam No Neck because he has a very long neck. It's kind of a
Is that
twist
ironic?
there. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think it is ironic, actually. Yeah, 1 and 2. Patrick gets the strikeout. He's got 7 now, and he's set down 5 in a row. Brings up the leadoff man, Ronald Acuna Jr. Patrick, 75 pitches, 45 strikes. He struck out 7, walked only 1. Acuna doubled to lead off the game. He lined out to right his last time up. Acuna hitting .320 with 17 home runs in the second half of the year. He's got 17 homers since the All-Star break. Oakland's Chris Davis is the only player in baseball who's hit more in the second half of the year than Acuna. This one will stay in the yard for Jay. Nice quick inning for Patrick Corbin. 4-1 Diamondbacks at Chase Field.
Take a look at our This Day in Baseball History, brought to you by Geico. It's been a while since I've featured a catcher, so we broke out bad dude John Stearns, the Mets catcher, back in 1978, set a new record for catchers with his 25th steal of the season.
Wow. It's been a while, yeah, like 3 days. Bad dude, that's a good nickname.
Yeah, bad dude Stearns.
Former Met great. Here's Eduardo Escobar, who singled and scored in the third. Dodgers are hanging on to that lead in Colorado. It's still 4-2. LA leads the Rockies. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Braves have 3 infielders on the right side against Escobar. The switch hitter batting left-handed. Swanson, the shortstop, on the first base side is second. There's Camargo, all by himself on the left. Escobar likes to take some big hacks. He's got some pop for a little dude. He's 5'10", 185, but he's been swinging for the fences a lot lately. Down a ball and 2 strikes. Flowers wants it up, and this one is drilled to right. Markakis makes a nice sliding grab. Here comes Goldy. He has homered and singled so far. The home run in the first got us started his 33rd. At 300 batting average. Back on May 22nd, that batting average was 198. Boy, left that slow slider up there. Gosman doesn't throw that pitch a whole lot. Well, he's trying not to throw him a fastball. We've seen the slider and that split changeup. Gosman getting near the end of the line at 92 pitches. Bullpen is quiet for Atlanta right now. Another splitter misses low. It's 2-1.
Gosman's only gone over the 100 pitch mark 1 time in his 6 starts with the Braves. Did it multiple times when he was a member of the Orioles.
They really thought he was going to be the ace of their staff in Baltimore. The 4th overall pick in the 2012 draft. He was an absolute stud at LSU. He was their Friday night starter, the surefire first-round pick, the whole thing. But it just never worked in Baltimore for him. He lost a bunch of games there. Didn't really have a winning season. But he's had a fresh start in Atlanta. He's taken advantage. Here's the 3-1 to Goldy. And he walked him. He's aboard for the 3rd time tonight. And David Peralta is the hitter. 3rd walk for Gosman. Peralta had an RBI single and scored in that 3-run 3rd. That fastball sailed on him. 1-0.
You may have noticed Tyler Flowers as he gives the signs to Gosman out there on the mound. He's using multiple signs with nobody on at second base. Even when Goldy was at the plate and nobody was on base, he was giving multiple signs. That's a sign for a pick to first base.
Why the multiple signs?
Well, caution, paranoia.
it will destroy you.
It really will. I mean, occasionally you throw a pitch and you expect a hitter to react a certain way to a pitch. And if he doesn't react the way you expect, the first thing that jumps into mind is either he's tipping pitches or somebody's letting the hitter know what's coming. And one way to combat that is just give multiple signs, even with nobody on base.
Got that fastball in there for a strike. 1-1 on David. Now there's finally some action in that Atlanta pen with Gausman at 97 pitches. Boy, that split change has been a very effective pitch for him all night long. Threw it again right there. That time David lays off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A.J. Pollock on deck. A.J. has flied out and walked so far tonight. Pitch number 100 from Kevin Gausman on the way. Wants the fastball up. Peralta got under it, but hits it pretty deep left center. Acuna is trying to chase it down. Duvall is there. He's got it on the track. Goldy tags and sneaks into second. Under it just enough to keep it in the yard. Goldy moves up. Now 2 outs for A.J.
A good read that time by Goldy. He saw Duvall kind of square up underneath the ball, realized the catch was going to be made way out there on the warning track, so he tagged up and moves up 90 feet in scoring position now for A.J. Pollock.
Flowers out to the mound. Here comes Swanson from shortstop. No sign of Brian Snitker or Chuck Hernandez. There is action in the Atlanta pen. Left-hander Sam Freeman is ready. You've got the lefty Descalso on deck after A.J. Pollock. A.J. flied out deep to center his first time up. He took Inciarte to the wall in straightaway center. He walked in the third. Goldy down there at second, 2 outs. Good take on that breaking ball. 2 balls and no strikes. There's the changeup, and it's 3-0. Do have first base open. You've got the lefty ready in the bullpen. Descalso, the hitter, will be next. Second walk in the inning, and the 4th in the ball game for Kevin Gausman. And sure enough, there's Brian Snitker. He wants his left-hander Freeman for Descalso. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. It's 4-1 Diamondbacks.
came through with the game's biggest hit so far. A 2-run single in the third. Our Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing, cool play of the game.
Diamondbacks putting together some really good at-bats in the ball game tonight. A.J. Pollock has walked in back-to-back at-bats. They drew 4 walks against Gosman while he was in there. And now left-hander Sam Freeman will take over for the Braves. He pitched in the ball game last night, faced 2 hitters, gave up 2 singles, and was immediately out of the game.
Jay and Owings got him to start the 7th last night. Now he faces Descalso with Goldy at second, A.J. at first, and 2 outs. Daniel hitting .288 against lefties this year with 4 home runs. Fastball is in, 1-0. Ildemaro Vargas, Eduardo Escobar having a chat. 2-0 to Descalso. Fastball is up. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Nick Ahmed is the on-deck hitter. Fastball in on 3-1. Full count.
So far, all fastballs from Freeman in this at bat by Daniel Descalso, and wouldn't expect that to change here. 3-2.
Only an A.J. aboard. Both runners will be off with a pitch. Here it is from Sam Freeman. There go the runners, and that is strike 3. Descalso caught looking at a fastball. Freeman strands 2. It stays 4-1 Diamondbacks. MLB at Bat is your #1 D-backs app. You can customize your experience, catch every moment this year. You'll get D-backs home screen icons, features like the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, the whole thing. Download MLB at Bat today. On Camargo, who homered against Patrick Corbin in the third, faces Corbin to start the sixth.
Oh, nice job by settling in for Patrick Corbin tonight. In that first inning, he had 4 3-ball counts. In the 4 innings since, he's only had 2. He had 2 1-2 or 0-2 counts in that first inning. He's had 6 since then. And he threw 2 out of 5 first pitch strikes in the first inning, 13 out of 14 since.
He's only given up 3 hits all night. The only run, Camargo's homer with 2 outs in the third. Really good news from, well, I think it's really good news from Colorado. It's hard to tell. Trevor Story was up for the Rockies with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th inning and struck out to leave them loaded. So they've gone to the top of the 8th. And the Dodgers lead Colorado 4-2. I think that's good because we need to cool off those Rockies just a bit. And Camargo punches one to the right field corner. This guy's had an impressive series. It gets pretty deep in there. Camargo down 4-1 will settle for the leadoff double. Well, he homered last night. Tonight he's doubled and homered.
Another young hitter for this Braves ball club, mature beyond his years at the plate. That's a perfect approach to drive that ball down into the right field corner. Kept his head right down the barrel of the bat, let the ball get deep into the hitting zone, and then a line drive down in that right field corner.
Yeah, Camargo in his last 30 games hitting over .330. Freeman has been up twice and struck out twice.
You know what we need in that Dodger Rockies game, don't you?
17 inning game.
Well, with lengthy rain delays. Several lengthy rain delays.
Just keep him there all night. Avila wants a word. That's bad karma. We got to go there next week. We got 4 games at Coors Field starting on Monday.
It's going to be beautiful. We got a text message from the Chamber of Commerce, said it should be fine.
Does the Chamber of Commerce ever send out text messages that say the weather will be lousy, stay away?
Well, people in Denver will tell you, oh, it doesn't even snow here in the winter. You know, we're on the right, the wayward, leeward, one side of the mountain or the other. We don't get bad storms here. I don't know about that.
Tornadoes and rock slides and who knows what else. But it is beautiful there. There's no question about it. Yeah, every time we go there that we get in trouble, they go, well, I see you brought the heat with you.
Yeah, you brought the heat with you.
All right.
Well, it was it's 65 right now in Denver and clear.
Beautiful.
Still wouldn't mind a pop-up storm and about an hour and 45-minute rain delay.
1-1 on Freeman. Well, what you want is those two teams just to beat up on one another, tire the Rockies out before we get there on Monday. Good slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trying to punch Freeman out for the 3rd time tonight. Corbin so far has struck out 7. He's walked only 1. Here's a look from Mosscam. That's what it looks like when you're facing Patrick Corbin.
Just missed with a slider. It's 2-2.
I'm guessing Freddie Freeman would say that the Mosscam shot doesn't really do justice to what it's like as a left-handed hitter facing the Patrick Corbin slider.
You know it's coming. Two. Got him. 8 strikeouts for Patrick. He's punched out Freeman 3 times.
It's very rare when you can make a good hitter like Freddie Freeman look bad. Best chance he had was that first fastball at 92, because after that it's going to be a steady diet of sliders. Another fastball up in the zone, just misses with that slider and gets Freeman to chase one at 83, just below the bottom of the zone. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game.
Well, Nick Markakis has had an enormous series. 4 hits last night. So far tonight, a walk and a single. He's up there with Camargo at second and 1 out. Markakis in the series has had 7 plate appearances, and he's reached safely 6 times.
Braves 0 for 4 tonight with runners in scoring position. They punched out 3 of those 4 at bats.
This is the guy that's been the tough out. Puts that slider right in there at the knees. 0-1. Patrick continues to pitch extremely well. Despite the fact he's winless in his last 3 starts, he's given up a total of just 4 runs in those 3 starts. Had a no decision here against the Angels. Tough luck loss at San Francisco when he went 7, but the D-backs were shut out by the Giants. There's the fastball away. And then another no decision in LA last Saturday. Despite the fact Corbin pitched 5 scoreless innings, only gave up 3 hits. There's the sign for Mike Fetters. Yoshihisa Hirano is ready in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. We've got the right-hand batter Tyler Flowers on deck. Corbin's spot is due up 3rd in the bottom of the 6th. Pokes it out to left for Peralta. Here comes Flowers. The right-hander is ready. Corbin at 90 pitches. We'll see how Torey Lovullo wants to play this. Do have first base open. Ozzie Albies the switch hitter. I'm sorry, bud.
I'm just going to say Flowers 0 for 2. A little rollover grounder to third base. His last at bat, however, a line drive out to right field. John Jay had to make a nice tumbling catch to record the out.
Patrick trying to get through the 6th and strand that leadoff double. Sliders a strike 0-1. He's only given up 4 hits through 5 2/3. One and 2. Rockies are trailing in Colorado. The Dodgers lead it 4-2. They're in the 8th. Here it's 4-1 Diamondbacks in the 6th. D-backs trying to pick up a game on the Rockies. They'd only be a game and a half back of the division lead. Two and two. Ozzie Albies, the switch hitter, on deck. Camargo at second after the leadoff double. Patrick really had to work in that first inning. 28 pitches. Stranded 2 base runners, put up a 0. Here's the 2-2 to Tyler Flowers. Got him. Another slider for Corbin. They complete the strikeout. 9 strikeouts for Patrick. He leads it 4-1. Backs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and we are back in the fight for postseason play. Fans, don't miss out on any postseason action this year. If you weren't here for the wild card game last year, that was unbelievable. Don't miss anything this year. Sign up online for the chance to get tickets. dbacks.com/postseason. Well, Corbin's spot due up 3rd in this inning. Sam Freeman back out there, the left-hander for the Braves, and Nick Ahmed will start us off. Nick has doubled and struck out, 1 for 2. Freeman came on to finish up the 5th inning, got Descalso to strike out with 2 on and 2 out in relief of Kevin Gausman. So you've got Ahmed to lead it off. Alex Avila on deck. Looks like Chris Owings is going to hit for Patrick Corbin. Patrick's spot due up 3rd here. Chris had a pinch hit single against Sam Freeman in the ball game last night.
Freeman's now missed with a breaking ball and a changeup. Well, actually, the first one was in there. Get back on that fastball. We saw Sam Freeman come in and face Daniel Descalso and throw nothing but fastballs, mid to upper 90s. Change up again.
Yeah, Patrick tonight
1 run on 4 hits in 6 innings. He only walked 1. He had 9 strikeouts. Struck out Freddie Freeman all 3 times he faced him. The only Atlanta run, a solo homer by Johan Camargo with 2 outs in the 3rd. One and 2 on Ahmed. Bounces a splitter up there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, what a difference it's been for Nick Ahmed at the plate this year. He's really become an offensive contributor. That's probably understating it. It's just good to be healthy. Last June suffered that fractured right hand hit by Trevor Rosenthal. And he was rehabbing at Reno. Got hit by another pitch, broke his right wrist. But healthy and playing well. Albies at second.
Today, after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACS50 at papajohns.com.
Alex Avila, the catcher tonight. He's been intentionally walked. He struck out his last time up. 0 for 1. And Alex, against lefties this year, 5 for 27. He's got a home run against a left-hander. Hit a homer. Boy, that was a really solid D-back outfit right there. Did you catch that? The Sugar Skull T-shirt and the D-back fedora. Serious style points right there.
This is not his first game here at Chase Field.
Been to 1 or 2 giveaway days here. Another big one coming up tomorrow. Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead giveaway tomorrow. First 20,000 fans. dbacks.com/tickets. Clay Buchholz against Julio Teheran. Our pitching matchup tomorrow. And Avila pokes one the other way. Base hit for Alex against the lefty. And Owings will hit for Corbin.
He gets jammed a little bit with that fastball, but just fights it off, muscles it through that left side. You can see that's the shortstop, Dansby Swanson, on the second base side of the bag there. No chance to make a play that time.
Well, CO, as announced as the pinch hitter, faced Foreman in the 7th inning last night. Had a base hit against him. Now hitting .200 with 3 homers this year. Double play ball to Swanson. Albies juggles it at second, and they can't turn 2. Ozzie Albies just couldn't quite find the handle there.
Well, it looked like a tailor-made double play ball. Dansby Swanson gets the feed to Albies in good shape, and as you said, just couldn't find the handle. And with Chris Owings' speed, you have to handle everything perfectly to turn a double play.
Let's see if they can take advantage. John Jay, the hitter, he's 0 for 3. Lined out into a double play his last time up. A bullet up the middle, but Swanson was right there. Owings at first, 2 outs. Luckily for Flowers, that rolled forward toward the mound. That one hurt just a bit. Your last 2 starters, Greinke last night, Corbin tonight. Buchholz goes Saturday, Robbie Ray on Sunday. Then it's off to Colorado and Houston. Astros at Fenway Park. They beat Michael Brenly's Red Sox 6-3. That was Cole and Price.
Yeah.
Headline
pitching matchup.
Yeah. Owings takes off. Throw is in the dirt, and CO is in there. Flowers had to scoop that one up. A low fastball from Freeman.
I'll tell you, for a big guy that gets down on a knee, Tyler Flowers comes out of the chute pretty good, throwing to second base right there. Really didn't have much of a chance. Chris Owings had a big jump. The pitch was in the dirt, but coming from a one knee down stance, he got rid of that ball pretty quickly.
3-0 on Jay. Escobar on deck. Fastball misses in. And it's 2 on and 2 out for Eduardo Escobar.
Third baseman, Eduardo Escobar.
Switch hitter will bat from the right hand side. Escobar singled and scored in the third. 1 for 3 tonight. And this is a bat they kind of need to get going again. It's been a little quiet for Eduardo Escobar the last couple of weeks. Last night 0 for 5, struck out 3 times, hit into a double play in a key spot. Chance to tack on at least 1 run here. 2 on and 2 out. Owings is at second and Jay at first. Big splitter. Eduardo Escobar's last multi-hit game was August 18th. And in 16 games since then, he's hit only 200. So it's been a little bit of a dry spell here.
And Torrey's been riding him pretty hard. I mean, Goldy and Escobar on the corners of the infield are the 2 guys that are seemingly in there almost every day. I think Escobar's only had 2 off days since he came to the Diamondbacks. You know, the outfielders kind of rotate in and out. Certainly the catchers rotate in and out. The middle infielders even rotate. Sometimes Marte's at second, sometimes he's at short, but those 2 guys on the corner of the infield are in there pretty much every day. And maybe showing some signs of wear and tear.
Yeah, over that 16 game stretch during which he's hit 200, all but 1 of them have been starts for Escobar. No Jake Lamb, of course, coming off that shoulder surgery. 0-2. In the hole for Swanson. He'll go to first. And Escobar grounds out to end the 6th. Diamondbacks lead the Braves 4-1. Four-2 here in the 7th. It's 4-1 Diamondbacks over the Braves with 2 more games to go in this 4-game set. Clay Buchholz on the mound tomorrow against the veteran Julio Teheran. 5:10 start. Diamondback Live pregame show at 4:30 on Fox Sports Arizona. Then former D-back first rounder Touki Toussaint will start Sunday for Atlanta against lefty Robbie Ray. Boy, Robbie's last 2 starts have been outstanding.
Really good.
So some good pitching matchups here this weekend. Come on down, dbacks.com for tickets. Yoshihisa Hirano is on to start the 7th in relief of Patrick Corbin.
I remember when Julio Teheran was just a rookie for the Atlanta Braves. He and Randall Delgado were the 2 guys that were going to anchor that rotation for years and years and years. Teheran's still in the rotation. We know Randall Delgado has kind of moved to the bullpen. Variety of roles for the Diamondbacks in the past.
Yeah, Randall was let go earlier this year, cleared waivers, and is back in the organization. There's Ozzie Albies. Albies tonight 0 for 2. Yoshi threw only 7 pitches in the ball game last night. He got Inciarte to fly out to win the top of the 10th. And then he pitched the final inning in the win Tuesday over San Diego. So he's worked a lot lately, as have most of these D-backs relievers.
68th appearance will tie him with Andrew Chapin for the lead with the Diamondbacks. Now Brad Ziegler has, I believe it's 71 appearances on the season, but a lot of those came for the Marlins earlier this season.
Here's a look at the defensive alignment against the switch hitting Albies. Doug Innings says that was a strike, 1 and 2. Oh, left side of the infield wide open for Albies. That fastball sailed on Yoshi. Adam Duvall, who took over in the outfield after Ender Inciarte was ejected, will be the on deck hitter. And then it's Dansby Swanson. And he punches it away from the shift into no man's land. Takes a big turn. Leadoff single for Albies. Adam Duvall really struggling this year. 194, 15 home runs. Acquired from Cincinnati at the trade deadline. And he's done next to nothing in Atlanta. It's been a tough year. This guy, a former All-Star, just 2 years ago he was an All-Star.
Boy, and had a rough defensive game against the Boston Red Sox in that series in Atlanta before the Braves came here to Arizona. They had him in right field. I always thought he was a pretty good left fielder, but boy, he struggled in right field. Let a couple balls drop in front, took a bad line on a ball hitting the gap.
Well, with the Braves, he is 4 for 40. He does not have an RBI or an extra base hit in an Atlanta uniform. He was traded to the Braves at the end of July. That fastball is fouled away. And Duvall 2 years ago, 33 homers, drove in over 100 runs for the Reds. And even last year, 31 homers, 99 RBIs. But this year, just kind of fell off the cliff. Guys one to right center. AJ's over there. 1 out. Brings up Dansby Swanson.
Shortstop, Dansby Swanson.
Swanson has popped up, flying out 0 for 2. Last night, Swanson in the top of the 10th with 2 outs against Brad Boxberger got that single. and stole second. Tripped coming around third on a base hit. Wound up scoring what turned out to be the winning run on a wild pitch. Looked like the Diamondbacks at that moment had caught an enormous break when it seemed Swanson would easily score, but hit the bag funny coming around third, stayed put, but wound up scoring anyway.
It's always fun to watch Ron Washington when something like that happens. You know, he's a guy that he really keeps his emotions in check.
Yes. Not so much.
He was going crazy.
Yeah, he was not happy. Well, the ball kind of ricocheted. The ball that, let's see, I guess it was Flowers hit. Kind of ricocheted off Ahmed's glove and it rolled away. It was a tough read for a third base coach. And Swanson was running full speed. It all kind of happened all at once.
I'm sure there's some fans out there that remember Ron Washington's days as the manager of the Texas Rangers, and when he had runners on base and one of his guys would get a hit, he'd pump his legs as if he were running the bases.
Swanson chases after that splitter. 2 outs in the 7th.
Tomorrow, the D-backs Spanish broadcast for Game 3 of the Brave Series continues on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Coverage in Spanish begins at 5 o'clock, presented by your Valley Honda dealers and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. To find the Plus channel listing, visit foxsportsarizona.com.
Los juegos de los Diamondbacks en televisión en Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Mañana a las 5 de la tarde con 10 minutos el primer lanzamiento. Mañana en el Día de la Herencia Hispana.
The great Oscar Soria and Rodrigo Lopez. Rodrigo selling some bobbleheads down there.
Yeah, and it's in the notes today that Rodrigo's uniform number is going to be retired in Culiacan on December 9th. Along with the Rubio Durazo, whose number will be retired in Hermosillo.
Lucas Duda is the pinch hitter. He struck out as a pinch hitter in the ball game last night in the 10th against Boxberger. Well, congratulations to those guys. That's pretty cool.
Nice, very nice.
Well, Yoshi got the single away from the shift by Albies. Survived Duvall, got Swanson to chase. Now he's ahead of Duda 0-2. This guy has been a strikeout waiting to happen for much of his career. A whole bunch of swing and miss. Began this year with the Royals. Was just picked up by the Braves about a week ago. And there's your swing and miss. Chased a high fastball. We stretch it, Chase. 4-1 Diamondbacks. It's 4-1. Fans are running out of home games here. You can get tickets to our final homestand of this season. And what a homestand it is. The Cubs, the Rockies, and the Dodgers. Every game counts in the fight for postseason. Get your tickets online at dbacks.com. The Cubs, the Rockies, and the Dodgers all coming in about a week. New pitcher for Atlanta just made his major league debut the other day against the Red Sox. The right-hander Kyle Wright. His first stint on the Braves active roster. Brought up from AAA, and the first guy gets to face tonight is Goldy, who has homered, singled, walked, and scored twice. Kyle Wright is a very well-regarded pitching prospect. He was the Braves' first-round pick in last year's draft. He was the 5th player taken overall out of Vanderbilt. Another Vanderbilt pitching product. He's out of Newmarket, Alabama, 6'4", 200 pounds. Just 22 years old. This is only his 2nd major league game. So you'll be seeing a lot of Kyle Wright down the road. David Peralta on deck, 3-1 on Goldy. Got a great letter from Andrea Wolf in Bullhead City. This is why you love baseball, love all our Diamondback viewers. She wrote us and said, "Dear Bob and Steve, we watched our first D-backs game the first game of last year." Never baseball fans. Goldy fouls that one off. So we watched our first D-backs game the first game of last season. We haven't missed a game since. They are all in.
All right.
D-backs, the only team we watch. They sit there in their living room. They're clapping with all the base hits. They're in Bullhead City. So that was a terrific letter. We really liked it. Thanks a lot, Andrea Wolf in Bullhead City. Full count on Goldy, 3-2. There's your base on balls. A walk starts us off in the 7th.
Typical Goldy night. Solo homer in the first. Singled and scored in the 3rd, and has walked in his last 2 at-bats in the ball game. This one leading off the 7th inning.
Peralta had an RBI single in that 3-run 3rd. He's 1 for 3. Fastball's a strike, 0-1. Kyle Wright split this year between AA and AAA. Had 7 appearances at the AAA level. Pitched pretty well for Gwinnett. A 2.51 ERA. 28 strikeouts in 28 innings. That slider got away. 1-1. Boy, Vanderbilt, man, they just crank them out, especially the pitchers. Of course, Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, playing behind Wright. Another Vandy product. One of the great collegiate baseball programs. Fastball fouled away, 1-2. Well, they're in the bottom of the 9th inning at Colorado. And keep in mind, the Dodgers lead the Rockies 4-2. They do not have their closer Kenley Jansen with them because of his irregular heartbeat problem. He was ordered by his doctors to not make that road trip to Colorado and pitch at that elevation. So looking for 3 more outs for LA. Cool off these Rockies a bit. 4-2 in the 9th. And Peralta strikes out. Good slider there from Kyle Wright. So if the Dodgers can hang on and the Diamondbacks can hang on, D-backs will only be a game and a half off the division lead. And it's amazing how quickly these narratives can change from game to game and week to week.
And for obvious reasons, you'd like to win the division and not be one of those wild card teams that have to battle to get into the next round of the playoffs. We know what kind of a toll that can take on a ball club moving into that next series. I don't even want to think about what happens if you end up with a three-way tie at the top of the division.
It's all kinds of scenarios. Missed with a slider. AJ's walked twice and flied out. Well, there's wild card. Was a lot of fun. This place was insane during that wild card game here last year against Colorado. That was a lot of fun. But the way the wild card standings are shaping up right now, you may need to win the division just to get into the postseason. D-backs trailing Milwaukee and St. Louis in the wild card standings right now. As it stands of this moment, neither LA or Arizona is a playoff team. It's the NL Central that might get 3 teams in, not the NL West. But that all can change. After tonight, only 21 games to go. 2-0 on AJ. Got a fastball down.
In that National League Central, the Brewers pulled within 4 games of the Cubs. The Cubs were rained out in Washington. The Brewers won their game against the Giants 4-2, so they're only 4 behind the Cubs right now.
Now there's the wild card right there. Milwaukee and St. Louis have the 2 spots. And then you've got the Dodgers game and a half out. Diamondbacks 2.5. The Phillies 3.5 in the wild card and 3.5 in the NL East behind division leading Atlanta. So D-backs are, I guess, close. They have a better shot to get in if they win the division than the wild card. Fastball down and away, just missed a bit. It's 3-1 on Pollock. Daniel Descalso on deck. Ryan has walked Goldy. He's been careful with AJ here. Goldy takes off. AJ, what a stop by Camargo at third. Oh, he might have saved a run. Goldy off with the pitch. Johan Camargo, a tremendous diving play at third base.
You're right, with Goldy on the move with the pitch, he might have scored if that ball gets by Camargo down into the left field corner. Nice diving play right on the line. Throws from the knee. One hopper across the diamond to Freddie Freeman for the out. Boy, AJ gets robbed again.
You know, with all these names of Swanson and Albies and Acuna, Camargo kind of gets overlooked, but he has really fit in well at third. He's hit 2 home runs in this series. Tremendous diving play right there. So 2 down, Goldy at second. And here's Daniel Descalso. And check on that changeup. Sanderson Ford bullpen. Archie Bradley stirring down there.
That's that pitch I talked about earlier in the ball game. The Flowers gets underneath and he's lifting his glove up toward the middle of the strike zone as he receives a pitch. That one was well below the bottom of the zone, but they got the call from Doug Eddings.
Nick Ahmed on deck. 2-2 on Descalso. He's got a 2-run single. He struck out twice tonight. 1 for 3. D-backs 1 in the first, 3 in the third. 4 runs on 8 hits. They've left 7. Kenta Maeda has come on for the Dodgers. They lead Colorado 4-2. 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. DJ LeMahieu batting with a runner at first. Fastball missed away. It's full. Ryan Snitker, he knows the Phillies have won at New York. They beat the Mets 4-3. Atlanta trying to hold off Philadelphia. 3.5 game lead atop the National League East. 3-2 to Descalso. Lifted to left center field. Duvall calling for it. That sends us to the 8th inning. Archie Bradley coming in. 4-1 Diamondbacks. Go. It's brought to you locally by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the free app and take Fox Sports Arizona and your D-backs with you wherever you go. Put Archie in. Uncle Rusty, nice to have you here.
Got your wish, Uncle Rusty. How about this for the Atlanta Braves tonight? They've got 5 hits in the ball game. 4 of them came leading off an inning. A leadoff double in the first, a leadoff single in the fourth, a leadoff double in the sixth, and then another single in the seventh. None of them scored. The only run in the game, a 2-out home run by Camargo to center field.
Ketel Marte checks in, replacing Daniel Descalso at second base. Ronald Acuna Jr., the leadoff man, leads off the 8th. He doubled to start it off. To your point. There's another leadoff man aboard.
Acuna's second hit tonight, 2 for 4.
I was talking to a scout the other day about Ronald Acuna Jr. and the guy told me you should pitch him the way you would pitch Starlin Castro. And the way I would pitch Starlin Castro is never to throw him a strike. The guy is hungry to hit. He wants to swing the bat. He will expand his own strike zone, but unfortunately Archie came right down Main Street with that first delivery.
And the throw over to first. Need to focus on Camargo here, who now bats from the left-hand side. He's had a big series. Homered and walked last night. He's homered and doubled tonight. Rockies are down to their final out at Colorado. Dodgers have a 4-2 lead, 2 outs in the ninth, and Nolan Arenado is the hitter against Kenta Maeda. Acuna can run. He's got 11 stolen bases.
The throw might have gotten away from Goldy right there and hit Acuna in the hip pocket. Ow.
Archie really focused on Acuna over there. Got to be careful with Camargo. Left-hand side is his power sign. Switch hitter. He's homered 4 times in his last 10 games, including tonight. There's his strike, 1-1. 'Tried the curveball, missed up just a bit. 2-1. It'll be interesting to see how often Archie uses that pitch moving forward. Started to see the curveball more and more until he hung that one against Matt Kemp Saturday in LA. But you can't shy away from that pitch down the stretch. Gonna need it. There goes Acuna. The throw from Avila is not in time. 12th stolen base of the year for Ronald Acuna Jr.
Boy, he gets up to full speed in a hurry. Some base stealers, it takes them 3 or 4 or 5 steps to get up to full speed. It looked like Acuna was full speed after he crossed over.
He's only 20 years old. What a future ahead of that young man. Two and two on Johan Camargo. Got the big boys coming up, Freeman and Markakis. Both from the left-hand side. Bullpen quiet right now for Torey Lovullo. For the corner, it will score Acuna. Johan Camargo continues to be a thorn in the Diamondbacks' side. He has homered and doubled twice tonight. It's a 4-2 ball game.
Man, he just looks so locked in up there at the plate, very calm. Lets the ball travel and smokes it down that left field line for an RBI double.
Well, the Rockies have lost now a final in Colorado. Dodgers beat the Rockies 4-2 as Arenado, the tying run at the plate in the ninth, strikes out. So the Diamondbacks can pick up one full game on the Rockies division lead if they can hang on and win this one. Here's Freeman, who has struck out 3 times against Patrick Corbin. Rockies have lost. Got to have this one. Three Diamondback defenders on the first base side against Freeman. That one really got Alex back there. Here comes Ryan DePanflo to have a look.
Oh, man. Inside of the left knee. Oh, man. Solid contact that time.
Well, they called in Detroit, Alex Avina, the titanium catcher, because the balls, it seemed, just sort of have a knack for finding him like that. And he always bounces back. He's a tough guy back there.
Yeah, he's a big dude, and big catchers tend to get hit with more foul balls than little guys like Brad Osmus or Craig Biggio back in the days when he caught. Those little guys, Jonathan Lucroy, they can fold up into a small package back there. Not as much of a target for those foul balls.
Ball and a strike on Freddie Freeman. Still nobody out. He is the tying run at the plate in the 8th. There is action in the Diamondback bullpen. Freeman ahead 2-1. Andrew Chafin is ready, says Mike Fetters, the left-hander. They've got the lefty Markakis on deck. Markakis had that RBI single against Chafin in the 9th inning last night. Fastball away. Freeman takes a hack, and it's 2-2. It's a big out for Archie to get right here. Right back to the mound. Amargo back to the bag at second. They retire Freeman, and the batter is Markakis.
Big at bat in the ball game for the Braves and for Archie Bradley. Starts him with a fastball off the plate away, gets a foul ball there on a curve, and then fastball up. Another fastball up and away. And gets a little tapper back to the mound with another heater up in the strike zone. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game.
Well, as we saw last night, Markakis hits lefties. He's over 300 against left-hand pitchers, so there's not much of an advantage if you bring in Chafin here. So they'll stick with Archie. Markakis has walked, singled, and flied out. He's 1 for 2. Two have first base open and a right-hand hitter on deck, but you don't want to bring that or put that tying run on base. Starts him off with a curveball that misses. 1-0. I imagine at this point in the ball game, if you're the skipper, you can really grind your gears about bullpen matchups.
Are you kidding me?
This is where it really gets down to the fine print. Another curveball. He's staying away from Markakis. It's 2-0. Markakis leads the National League in base hits. He's a dangerous hitter up there. 4 hits last night, 1 more tonight. He's staying away. Everything is away to Markakis. He's fallen behind 3-0. Markakis is a very disciplined hitter. He is not a guy who chases bad pitches. You've got the right-hander Flowers on deck.
Yeah, we talked about it last night. Markakis, 68 strikeouts on the season, 59 walks. Make it 60. He walked in the first inning tonight.
Well, if he walks Markakis, he brings the go-ahead run to the plate with 1 out. Here's the 3-0. Fastball's a strike at 96. Archie's rested. He has not pitched since Tuesday when he worked 1 inning against San Diego. 3-1. Squib shot to short. Ahmed backhands. Tough throw. And they get him. Nick Ahmed has done it again. Markakis arguing with Joe West. Brian Snitker wants to have a look. Wow. Here comes Doug Innings, the home plate umpire. Nick Ahmed, sensational. Markakis is not going anywhere. It looks like Markakis beat it out.
I mean, great play by Nick, but yeah,
wow. Well, from Joe West's angle, which was directly in front of Goldy, he was probably screened, and now they do change the call. So the plate umpire immediately comes over and tells the crew chief, look, this is what I have. No need for replay. So Markakis safe at first. Camargo still at second.
Late catcher, Tyler Flowers.
And Tyler Flowers is the go-ahead run at the plate with a 1 out. He is 0 for 3. That's a base hit for Markakis, his second hit tonight and his 6th in the series. Archie in a jam. 2 on and 1 out. Rockies have already lost. Fastball in on the hands at 96. It's 1-0. Flowers' bat has been quiet lately, hitting just 200 in his last 14 games. He has grounded out, lined out, and struck out so far tonight. 0 for 3. Fastball's a strike. Two and 2. Big spot here for Archie Bradley.
We'd love to finish the at bat right here.
Got Albies on deck, switch hitter. Ziegler and Chafin in the bullpen. Chafin's been ready down there for a while. Two to Tyler Flowers. Didn't get the call, just off the plate. It's full. Albies singled his last time up, 1 for 3. Here it is. Little tapper. Escobar's back. Archie's got no play and the bases are loaded. Swing and bunt by the catcher Flowers.
Now with 2 strikes, Diamondbacks defensively drop back an extra couple of steps to give themselves more range, and then Tyler Flowers just dumps one down that third baseline, a swinging bunt to load him up.
Flowers comes out of the ball game, and Lane Adams will run for the catcher. He is the go-ahead run at first. Alex Avila and the rest of the infield. Conference time with Archie. Ozzie Albies will be the hitter.
Albies, the switch hitter, hits for a much higher average from the right side of the plate. Much more power from the left side of the plate.
Yeah, he's got 22 home runs. 15 of those have come batting left-handed. Here comes the skipper. He's going to go with Brad Ziegler and try and get a double play ball. Brad will come in. Bases full, 1 out in a 4-2 ball game.
Faced 5 hitters, gave up 4 hits, although 2 of them were infield hits. Now he'll turn the ball over to sinker baller, submariner Brad Ziegler. This is his specialty. Come in there and get that ground ball double play.
Well, he's been through this before, including last night when he came on in the 6th inning with 2 outs, bases full, and got out of the jam. He's got bases loaded, 1 out here, facing Ozzie Albies. 71st appearance of the year for Brad. He's got Camargo at third. Markakis at second is the tying run. Adams running for Flowers is the go-ahead run at first. Albies 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Keep in mind as well.
You look like a cross-up. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, partner.
No, you're
but
good.
Yeah, Alex Avila looked like he was going to just throw the ball back to Brad and hope they get the next one right. But instead, he does the right thing. Go out there and make sure everybody's on the same page.
No room for mistakes right now. I was just going to say, Albies can really run. He's got 13 stolen bases this year. So if you're thinking about turning 2, you're going to have to hustle. Camargo at third, Markakis at second, Adams at first.
Ahmed at short, playing up the middle, almost right behind the bag at second. That's fouled behind Eric Young Sr. at first. A ball and a strike. Ozzie Albies, a National League All-Star this year, just 21 years old. Here's your ground ball. Marte. Ahmed can't turn it. Camargo scores, and it's 4-3. Marty Foster, the second base umpire. Everybody's safe.
With a backhanded toss by Marte. I don't think Nick Ahmed got a real good look at that toss right there. Kind of handcuffs him up chest high. Oh, man.
That hurt.
That really hurt. That should have been out of the inning.
That's E6. They give the error on Nick. He got kind of handcuffed by that funny toss from Marte, and the hitter is Adam Duvall. Duvall, the seventh man to bat in the Atlanta eighth. Boy, you said it, Bob. Archie got two infield ground balls, one a swing and bunt. Ziegler got a perfect double play ball, and we're still going here. That sinker from Ziegler, and it's 1-2. Dansby Swanson is the on-deck hitter.
Caught a little more strike zone than Brad wanted to right there. Duvall had a pretty good rip at that one. Pulled his foul down the third baseline. That's that sweeping flat slider. He's hoping to lead him right off the outside corner, get him to chase a bad pitch. Left that one in the zone. Foul tip. Duvall stays alive at 1-2. Atlanta has now out-hit the Diamondbacks 9-8. Markakis the tying run at third. Adams the go-ahead run at second. Albies aboard at first. Just over the head of Markakis at third and foul. Manager just feel helpless in this situation? Yeah, you just put the best guy out there for a particular at bat and trust that he's going to do what you hope he does.
They did it on that last one, just didn't get the result they wanted.
One more time on 1 and 2 to Adam Duvall. That's right there. Ring him up and sit him down. Doug Innings says strike 3. That's the second out.
I think this is one instance where the way Alex Avila caught the ball made it look a little worse than it really was. Yeah, front door slider got to the corner, but you can see the way Alex caught that ball. He ended up pushing it down near the feet of Adam Duvall. That's why he can't believe it.
So it's Dansby Swanson, the former Diamondback draftee. Innings has had enough. He's telling Duvall to sit down and shut up. And it looks like the hitting coach Kevin Seitzer has been ejected. Innings waving him out of the dugout. So here we go. 2 down, bases full for Swanson, who is 0 for 3. Seitzer ejected from the Brave dugout. And Brad wants to talk it over. You saw him check up to the scoreboard at how many mound visits are remaining. And now there's only, let's see, there's 2 left on the board.
I think they'll be down to 1 after this one, I believe.
I think you're right. Yep, 1 more mound visit to go. But you can't take him with you. You got bases loaded, 1-run ball game. That's the time to use it.
And can't take any chances right here with a runner at second base peering in at those signs.
The 8th man to bat in the Atlanta 8th, Dansby Swanson. That's in there for a strike. Just floats that slow breaking ball up there. Pitcher spot is up next. Kurt Suzuki is in the on deck circle. Swanson lays off that curveball. Chafin still ready in the Diamondback bullpen. But this is the out that Ziegler needs to get right here. This is getting grueling. Swing and a miss on the 1-1. There's that harder sinker way down. And Ziegler is a strike away from getting out of this mess. Poked out to shallow right center. Brad Ziegler pulls a rabbit out of the hat. Braves get 2, but it's still 4-3 D-backs.
But Mark Race, did we just feel the enormity of the pennant race and execute?
I know I did.
Okay, I was just wondering.
My ulcer just had a baby. Oh my goodness. Well, Brad Ziegler, that's how you get people out late in the ball game right there.
You okay?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
There's lots of baseball left, so pace yourself.
What? More?
Pace yourself.
Oh,
okay.
Gosh.
Mark and I will have the D-backs live guys if I can keep him in check right when this game ends, but we'll get it back to you.
Hang in there, Gracie. I know how you feel. That was grueling, but it's still 4-3 good guys as Nick Ahmed leads off the 8th against Kyle Wright. Nick doubled in the second, 1 for 3. Rockies have lost. Dodgers won at Colorado 4-2. So the D-backs, if they can hang on, can pull within a game and a half of the Rockies division lead if Gracie can hang on.
Gracie was never like that as a player. He was calm, cool, and collected. He's the guy you wanted up to the plate in those kind of situations. You wanted the ball hit to Gracie in those situations.
It's back to that sort of helpless feeling that we all have watching this. Good slider there from the rookie Wright. 1-2 on Nick. Avila on deck. And then it's Ketel Marte. 7-8-9 here in the Diamondbacks 8th. There is currently no one warming up at the D-back bullpen. That one somehow got by Wright, and Ahmed's aboard. Wright tried to backhand that one as it hopped over the mound and it got right through. That's a base hit for Ahmed. He's 2 for 4.
It wasn't pretty, but it was well placed. Leadoff runner. Alex Avila at the plate now. Going to have a pinch hitter for the pitcher spot. Looks like Ketel Marte down there swinging a bat.
There is no one warming up at the Diamondback bullpen. Ziegler about as high stress an inning as he can have, but he only threw 14 pitches to get out of that jam. So we'll see if they stick with Ziegler in the top of the 9th. Here's Avila. They have Camargo, the only guy on the left side of the infield, in on the grass. Shift is on against Alex, who has walked and singled tonight. There's Camargo over there. He was a bit further in a moment ago. Now it's 0-1. Just about even with the bag down there. Freeman holding Ahmed on the bag at first. Fastball away, 1-1. Atlanta bullpen. Well, we saw Jackson in the ball game last night. Luke Jackson, the right-hander. That slider missed. 2 balls and a strike on Avila. Dave McKay coaching in first. Last time against this same shift, Alex kind of punched one into left center field, away from most of the defense. Curveball or changeup's a strike. 2-2. Lift that one up. There's the blonde hair of Ketel Marte, who had that critical misplay on the double play ball earlier after he checked in at second base for Descalso. They gave Ahmed the error. Avila lays off the breaking ball, and it's full 3-2.
Ahmed holds it first, and Avila does not go, says Mark Rippiger, and the first two have reached in the D-backs eighth, and Marte will be the hitter. First at bat tonight for Ketel Marte. Took over at second for Descalso. Here comes Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach. Patrick Kivlahan, newly acquired just the other day from the Mets, will run for Avila. Kivlahan has got a little bit of speed for a big guy. That's one of the reasons they picked him up. Also another right-hand bat off the bench, Patrick Kivlahan, acquired from the Mets yesterday for cash consideration. So he runs for Alex. His D-back debut. He was a great football player at Rutgers, Patrick Kivlahan.
Well, he should thank his lucky stars he's no longer playing football for Rutgers, because they've got the Buckeyes this week.
Oh, wow. Who's Michigan playing? Do they still have a team?
I'm not sure. They're dipping into the Mid-America Conference this weekend.
Well, that's an upgrade for them, right? Trying to impress the selection committee. Marte, 253, 10 home runs. Squares to bunt. That gets Camargo in from third. Marte had a big hit in the eighth inning last night, a two-out RBI single off Johnny Venters. He'd sure take a base knock right here with Ahmed at second and Kivlahan at first.
And if indeed he is bunting, he needs to push it to the third base side. Make Camargo come in and make the play.
Squares to bunt again, pulls back, takes a ball. It's 2-0. You've got the leadoff man, John Jay, on deck.
Yeah, since Freddie Freeman doesn't have to hold the runner on at first base, he's starting about 10-12 feet in front of the bag and charging from there. Camargo has to read the pitch, read the bunt. You get it down to that third base side, you're going to move the two runners up.
And Camargo coming in from third. Marte squares, pulls back. That fastball just off the plate is a strike. 2-1. Doug Innings back there tonight. Long look down to third. Tony Perez-Chica going through a long set of signs down there. Two and one to Ketel Marte. Squares to bunt again and bunts it foul. Now that changes the equation just a bit. John Jay will be next. Camargo still in on the grass at third. No sign of a bunt on the 2-2, and it's full. There's Tony Perez-Chica. Marte takes the 3-2 low, and with nobody out, the D-backs have the bases loaded. And here comes Brian Snitker. He will make the move. Braves got two in the top half of this inning. Diamondbacks trying to counter back in a moment.
Here, bases loaded, no outs. Diamondbacks with a 4-3 lead. And on for the second night in a row, the right-hander Luke Jackson. We saw him in the 8th inning last night. Came on, gave up a single to Nick Ahmed and struck out to Scalzo to win that inning. Jackson in the ball game last night threw only 8 pitches. He'll face John Jay with the bases full and nobody out. You've got Ahmed at third, Kivlahan running for Avila at second, and Marte at first. Fastballs, a strike, 0-1.
Diamondbacks have been better in this particular situation so far in this series. The Braves 0 for 5 with the bases loaded in this series. Diamondbacks 2 for 3.
Braves infield is in. And Jay hits it to second. Albies backhands, comes home to get the force on Ahmed. And the batter is Eduardo Escobar. Escobar singled and scored in the third, 1 for 4. That's his only hit in the series. Andrew Chafin starts to warm up once again in the Diamondback bullpen. This will be deep enough to get Kivlahan home. Acuna's got it. Everybody moves up. And it's 5-3.
Late tacos, we like it.
That's 5. And they'll give Goldy the free pass with first base open and work to Peralta, who will bat with the bases loaded. So Goldy 5 plate appearances tonight. He reached base safely every time. And here comes the freight train, who had an RBI single in the third. He's 1 for 4. Peralta coming off a 3-hit night last night. Chased a fastball well off the plate, 0-1. It's a good example of what Torrivello has talked a lot about lately, guys. Getting away from their plan of attack, chasing pitches outside the zone in these big spots. Sliders in the dirt, 1-1 on David. Atlanta in the 9th inning will have the pitcher spot leading off. And then Acuna and Camargo. You've got Boxberger, who starts to warm up just a moment ago. Chafin's been ready for a while. 1-1 on Peralta. This is bounced to first. Freeman's in a foot race to the bag, and he wins it. Diamondbacks have the bases loaded, no outs. They can get 1. So it's 5-3 as we start the 9th. including a home run in the first inning. D-backs just tacked on a run to make it a 5-3 advantage as we start the 9th inning. Patrick Corbin was tremendous today. Andrew Chafin will start it off on the mound. Whole new battery for the Diamondbacks as Jeff Mathis takes over behind the plate after they pinch ran for Avila. And the pitcher spot leads it off for Atlanta. Charlie Culberson will be the pinch hitter. Then it's Acuna and Camargo. Mathis behind the plate. Charlie Culberson, 279, 10 homers. He bounced out to first with the bases loaded as a pinch hitter last night. There's a fastball for a strike. Boxberger continues to warm up in the Diamondback pen. He was the losing pitcher in last night's ball game. Another fastball, another strike. Chafin's been much more aggressive with that fastball over the last several weeks. Charlie Culberson, 33 plate appearances as a pinch hitter this year, a 156 batting average, but he does have 2 pinch hit home runs. Got him. Went to the slider, 1 down.
Nice job by Andrew Chafin right there, getting the leadoff man. Take a look at the pitch by pitch. As you said, pitching aggressively with that fastball. Dots the outside corner with that second one. Has him set up for the slider down and in, and Culberson swings right over the top.
Torey Lovullo will go to his closer, Brad Boxberger. Back after this. Is empty, and after a rough appearance in the 10th inning last night, Brad Boxberger, who got the loss in that ball game, is on to get the final 2 outs. Ronald Acuna Jr. is the hitter. He has doubled, singled, and scored a run tonight. Andrew Chafin terrific in getting Culberson a strikeout to start the inning, but then they go to the right-hander Boxberger. Boxberger faced Acuna in that 10th inning last night and walked him. The final batter he faced in the ball game. Fastball misses, 1-0. Acuna 24 home runs on the year. 17 of those have come since the All-Star break. And it's 2-0. There is no one warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Well, Torey Lovullo asked a lot about his closer following the game last night, and he insisted that it is still Brad Boxberger. He trusts Brad Boxberger, and he's proving his point here tonight. Fastball right by him, and it's 2-2. The Rockies have lost. Dodgers won at Coors Field 4-2. Camargo, who has been a wrecking ball in this series, is on deck. Fastball's up. Full count on Ronald Acuna Jr. 3-2.
All fastballs so far from Brad Boxberger.
Mathis behind the plate. Here comes another heater. In the hole for Ahmed. 2 down. Diamondbacks live post-game show follows our ball game. We'll see if Gracie survives this. Hang in there, Gracie. One more to go. It's Camargo, who has homered and doubled twice tonight. He homered in the ball game last night. Switch hitter bats from the left-hand side, which is his power side, but he's a very balanced switch hitter. It really doesn't matter with Camargo. Fastball is a strike 0-1. Diamondbacks, if they can hang on, will be a game and a half behind the Rockies' National League West lead. There's a changeup that misses. Torey Lovullo's ball club looking for answers. They've lost 5 of 6, 9 of 13. 1-1. Boxberger's a strike away. Let's get this one. Hayes off the change. It's 2-2. Trouble looms. Freeman on deck. Behind him, Markakis. This is the guy you want to get right here. 2-2 to Johan Camargo. Foul. Boxberger last night came on to start the 10th, got the first 2 he faced, and after that it was single walk before Verano came on to get out of the 10th. 2-2. Little flare, shallow left. Peralta, get it! Diamondbacks win it 5-3. Boxberger bounces back. And the gap in the NL West is a game and a half.
This is some kind of fun. No matter what Gracie says, he loves this. Nice diving catch by David Peralta to end this one. Outstanding ball game.
Dodgers win in Colorado 4-2. The Rockies lose here in Phoenix. It's 5-3, a D-back win. They even the series with Atlanta at a game apiece. They're only 1.5 back with 21 to play. Buckle up. We'll check on Gracie when we come back. D-backs win it.